And yesterday, I had to leave early because I could not keep my eyes open any longer. I was so dog-tired. I fell asleep 3 times on the way home from the studio yesterday around this here time. And then I went to sleep, and I slept for a long, long time. And then I woke up this morning, and I feel a little bit better. And then Jeremy came in and immediately started throwing it in my face that I got him sick.
Well, I said a lot of things that I can't say on the show.
That you did.
Because I feel like a stool sample, and I directly blame that on you.
Well, I apologize. That's I blame it on Mother Nature. Change up the seasons on me this quickly. It got colder than I expected. I don't know. Anyhow, I apologize if I did get you sick, Jeremy. There's probably no doubt in science that you got that from me, and I apologize.
There's no if. I certainly got this from you, and you are a jackal.
Well, we are, but Jeremy's a trooper, and we're going to make it through the next 3 hours here on a Football Friday.
You got me till about 3:06, and then I'm going to go sleep in my fort at my house.
That's all we can ask. So just so everybody knows, the Living the Dream Tour is going to be on hold again for tomorrow. We would love to make the trip over to Alabama, Tennessee.
Oh, for sure. It took everything. I had to drive from my house to here, and I stopped once.
Yeah.
So 3 hours through whatever iteration of Tennessee.
What'd you have to stop for, to sneeze?
Don't ask a question you don't want the answer to.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I apologize for that. That did not come from. I did not have that kind of sickness. Just to be clear.
Well, here's the thing: for it to take hold in me, because I'm a significant iteration of Tennessee.
Excuse me. That's my fault. Sorry.
Oh. You got me sick, and then you blew up my eardrums.
Just turn that pot down there, bro.
I'm honestly, I'm about tired of you. I'm not gonna lie.
I've done enough sabotaging of the program today, so we will have some fun here over the next little bit with you here. We welcome everybody into the YouTube chat and welcome all of you listening on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and of course everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. It is a Football Friday.
Football Friday.
And
sorry, I can't yell it.
We have all of the games to get into because this may be one of the best weekends, or the best weekend we've had of football all year.
Didn't start real hot.
Well, last night was, what can you expect from a team that has lost all faith in their coach, in each other, and the game plan? Everything except for the diehard fans that were still there chanting "Fire Dennis Allen" late into the ball game last night.
We have our first super chat of the day.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, how about that? Yeah. Back to Little John.
Nope, that's the wrong noise, and you know it.
Here comes the money.
There it is.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It's from Soaring Eagle. He said it's currently just after 9 a.m. here in Prescott, Arizona. Dennis Allen still hadn't been fired. And I'm not going to lie to you, I can't explain it.
I can't either. I was shocked that we made it to 9 o'clock Eastern time, and he had not been fired yet.
There is no doubt in my mind that Dennis Allen has a photograph in the top drawer of his desk that involves some high-ranking officials, the New Orleans Saints, committing maybe treason, for sure doing some things they shouldn't have, because that is the only explanation for how last night didn't get you instantaneously fired.
Right.
You should have been a Herm Edwards fired in the end zone. We're not even going to let you go talk to the team because that was an abomination. That was an assault on my eyeballs, and I could not stop watching it.
Thankfully, I did not, ruin my eyeballs by watching that last night, but I did wake up this morning. I saw the final score was 33-10, and I went, "Ooh, that was not good." So I thought I'll go get the unbiased opinion. I'll go straight to the source, the horse's mouth, if you will. So I just hopped on over to NOLA.com.
I think the horse's mouth is why Dennis Allen's still employed, if I was being really honest.
Went over to the old, New Orleans Times-Picayune to see what the diehard beat writers were writing about last night's game. And the fact that the first things they brought up were the fact that nobody was playing any defense. You couldn't stop the run. You couldn't run the ball. Your offense was terrible. Richard Sherman apparently after the game is just going on and on about how the entire team has given up on Dennis Allen.
Well, I mean, and you did it the night that they induct Sean Payton and Drew Brees into your Hall of Fame. Shoo, buddy. That was poorly timed. There was nothing good there. I told Tank, I said, let's play a fun game.
Did they really do that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
They enshrined a visiting coach.
Yeah.
On the night he played
with Drew Brees.
That is the dumbest thing I've heard since Arthur Blank put himself into the Ring of Honor in Atlanta.
That was, I mean, look, I love Mr. Blank. And, hey, I want to put this guy in the Hall of Fame. You know that guy's you, right? 100% I do. But you mind your business. As long as I'm the one cutting the checks, I'll do whatever I want to do.
I mean, I know you want to put him in the Ring of Honor, but you damn sure don't do it on the night you play him.
Well, I mean, when else are you going to do it?
Any other night? I don't know. You have a special ceremony in the off season like they did for Tom Brady up in New England.
It's fine.
You're not selling thousands of tickets or 100,000 tickets for that like you did for Tom Brady in New Orleans, I don't think. But still, you should have done it another
Drew
time.
Brees hasn't played a snap in the NFL in 3 years. He is 44 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best quarterback in that building last night by like a lot.
You mean you weren't impressed with Jake Hayner's touchdown throw at the end of the
You mean the merciful, please God, let this be over touchdown? Where it looked like Denver was actively making dinner plans?
Whew, buddy. And I immediately go back to, the Week 3 power rankings after they shellacked the Dallas Cowboys, and we all went, oh, my God, this is a top 10 team. And then...
This is the most precipitous decline I've ever seen. I think we got them all the way to 8.
Something
in
like
this
that.
week's power rankings, they will have a number that starts with a 3 because they are, and I get it, there's a lot of injuries.
No doubt. They had 17 dudes on the injured list going into last night, and then who was it they lost last night? Paulson Adebo. He's done for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
It's just,
it's always bad when you see the trainer show up and he's got the little pump on the air cast. Like, yeah, I don't believe he will be returning today.
No.
But to me, last night was way more Denver Bronco than it was New Orleans Saint, but probably not for the reason that you think. Denver's 4-3. They play the Carolina Panthers next week. They'll be 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
They may be the first team in NFL history to ever go 5-3 and finish 5-12. You get that they're still not good, right? I mean, I don't feel like I'm telling you anything that you don't already know. Bo Nix can't hit a stationary receiver. And you keep telling me how good this kid is. There was a throw last night that I think should live in the annals of time for anybody that ever tries to get me to say, well, Bo Nix is better than I thought. New Orleans had a completely busted coverage. I believe it was Adam Troutman and Troy Franklin. Troutman comes across on a deep post. It's just a big, deep crossing route. Troy Franklin's right behind him. There are 0 New Orleans Saints in the frame. There's not one in front of Troutman. There's not one between Troutman and the receiver. There is not one over the receiver. He threw it the only spot, the only place, if you had thrown it to that side of the field that it's not completed to somebody, and dropped it right in between them. And I just looked at that and went, yep, that's Bo Nix. That right there, boys and girls, is Bo Nix in a nutshell. And I do love how low we set the bar. Because for whatever, and by the way, if I hear he has the shortest name in NFL history, it's him and Ty Law and some dude named Al that I've never heard of. Burr, 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 burr. I don't care. I don't care. No, that's 6 letters. Bo Nix is 5 letters.
Oh.
Simple math. This is how you gave me your evilness. Had to work a little harder on me.
Mm-hmm.
He's terrible. Like, Bo Nix is legit terrible. The Denver Broncos are terrible. And it's kind of comical to me how easy it is for people to fall for this. Kirk Herbstreit at one point last night did the telestrator thing of, well, look how good he is when he sets his feet and he throws a pass from here to about the wall, and they ooh and ah. I can make that throw.
Well,
I mean, maybe not right now.
It's
but
just baby steps, right? He's a rookie. He's
he's
working
a
on the bigger throws.
24-year-old rookie who cannot do the most basic thing that playing quarterback in the NFL entails. I don't know why people are falling for this. I really don't. If you watched that game last night, there were two potential takeaways. Good Lord, the Saints are awful. Should have been what most people walked away from it with.
Which I think they did.
And then you should have had another double take of, my God, how bad do the Saints actually have to be that they lost to 23 to a team that I'm not sure could beat a high school team by 23 points. It was comical to watch. I think Cody Barton had 3 defensive touchdowns. 2 of them were called back. Finally got the one at the end of the game like, well, you were dedicated to scoring a touchdown today.
He was going to find a way
You
to get
were
it done.
going to find a way. You bet on yourself, didn't you? You have you in DraftKings every time touchdown scorer because you worked real hard for that.
They're not good,
No.
but they're plenty capable of beating bad teams.
Okay. Well, here's
And
the
when-
problem. You've played all the bad teams you have left.
Well,
You get
they still got
Carolina
the
next
Panthers.
week.
They still got the Panthers
Then
left,
what?
and they get another one with the Raiders.
That's in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I would not chalk that up that that's just a guaranteed. Oh, no doubt.
We'll see if Max Crosby's still on that team.
Okay. Other than that, you play the Ravens. You play the Chiefs twice. You play the Falcons, Browns, Colts, Chargers, Bengals.
Hey, they can beat the Browns.
Maybe. By
But they're
then,
all
we
a
may have
maybe.
Jameis Winston.
Right, but they're all a maybe because they're a bad team. You can't. I mean, I get that. There might be some fans out there that are excited. Oh, we're 4-3. Go be happy about it. You can only play the teams in front of you, and you've beaten
sure.
4 out of the 7. Congratulations. I can't explain the whole Buccaneers thing other than we do that a lot with rookie quarterbacks. The Jets thing, weather, missed kicks.
For sure.
Jets kick themselves in the tail. The Raiders suck. The Saints are worse. Those are your 4 wins. Congratulations.
Be the example asked if I could do that air pump motion. I know what I did.
Yeah.
I'm sick. I'm not stupid. There is a difference in those two things.
But right now there is no more listless team in the NFL than the New Orleans
But
Saints, I don't think.
Oh, New Orleans is irrelevant. I mean, I'm to the point New Orleans should go on conversation probation. There is nothing about that team that deserves to be talked about.
Other than the fact that they haven't fired their coach, which is madness.
Until you do, there's nothing to talk about.
Sure.
Because he is a buffoon. We have another super chat.
Okay.
Which leads into to me, a bigger story.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
Soaring Eagle and I were talking last night. He said, I think the Broncos are going 9-8. Because the Panthers, Raiders, Browns, and Colts are all terrible. And they'll find some way to beat the Falcons even though they shouldn't. I can't agree with you on the Falcons. I think it's more likely you go 8-9. But you understand you don't want to do that, right? What position group for the Denver Broncos do you really feel like they have on lock right now?
A position group?
Yeah, what
don't
position
believe they have a group.
Are you good at quarterback?
No.
No. Are you good at running back?
No.
You have a lot of them. None of them are all that good.
No.
Before last night, you were completely irrelevant running the ball. Your receiving core is Devon Vale and Troy Franklin, and it's just a bunch of dudes. Even your superstar is Cortland Sutton, who at this point I think runs about a 4.7 40. You don't want to go 9-8. You don't want to go 10-7. You don't want to make the playoffs because that puts you at a horrible disadvantage because you wind up in purgatory. We're picking at 15 or 18 or 20 or whatever the case may be every single year. And you never actually can fix this team. Because you still look at this team top to bottom, it is not a good NFL roster. It's just not. And you can say I'm wanting to put my fingers in my ears. I watched my team lose somehow to a Denver Bronco team they lost 7 yards passing in a half. I get it. It was in a rainstorm. It wasn't in the second half. You had a drive in that entire game.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them beat Tampa Bay. That was way more Tampa Bay than it was you. Because Tampa Bay came out and looked like they were going to cruise to a victory. And you had a letdown.
Yep.
These are the teams that get coaches fired 2 years from now. Because you think Bo Nix is, he can do this. He can be Drew Brees light, where he comes out and completes 16 of 26 passes, and we run the ball and burr, 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 burr. No, you can do that against the Saints. Just wait till you play the Chiefs. Wait till you play the Ravens. And you see this team against an actually high-level competitive AFC team. They are going to hurt your feelings.
9 times out of 10, yeah.
I'll say 10 times out of 10. I don't think you can even be competitive with a good team. This is the reason I'll tell you definitively. I don't think the Jets are a good team right now. I don't think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a good team right now because you don't lose games like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. And you're getting ready to play legit good teams. And you're going to see exactly what you have. I don't understand this moving the bar. Bo Nix was a first-round pick. Yeah, then treat him like a first-round pick. If you want to keep telling me that he was a first-round talent, then hold him to a first-round bar. Hold him to the bar that you hold, I don't know, Zach Wilson to. Because I'm going to level with you. I've seen Zach Wilson do what Bo Nix did last night. Didn't do it continuously, but he did it. I remember did it to the Tennessee Titans in a game that had he not been the quarterback, they don't win. Made one of the best throws of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean he's a good quarterback. Stop moving the scale. If you compare Bo Nix to first-round quarterbacks, you know what you come up with every single time?
What's that?
A huge deficiency in talent. You come up with a huge deficiency in actual athletic ability because he's not overly fast. He's kind of mobile. But he's not a fast guy. He preys on broken plays. He's exactly what I told you he was a year ago. He's Baker Mayfield if you had bought him on Wish. That's not winning squad. So enjoy your win. Enjoy your 4-3. Enjoy your 5-3. But if you think that's a playoff team, I got a bridge to sell you. And I don't care if they end up in the playoffs. Because you will get your lunchbox eaten by any team that makes the playoffs in the AFC.
Last night was a prime example of a team giving up. I feel like that's where the New Orleans Saints are.
For sure.
They gave up 225 yards rushing last night against the Denver Bronco team that, as well as you said, Jeremy, have been irrelevant in the running game all year long. Javonte Williams scored his first 2 touchdowns of the season last night in that game against New Orleans. That team has clearly given up. And it's quite clear to everyone, apparently, except for the movers and shakers in New Orleans, that Dennis Allen is the problem here. But for some reason, you can't bring yourself to do it. Not yet. What are you waiting on? Is my big question. Because we all expected this decision to come at least 3 hours ago. The Dennis Allen is done. Maybe you just don't have anybody to turn it over to.
Clint Kubiak.
But you don't have any more choice.
No, you can't keep a guy around just after something like that, just solely because, who are we going to give it to? They couldn't possibly be worse than he is.
Precisely.
You could give it to the janitor. I don't think they would have quit on the janitor the way they quit on Dennis Allen last night.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Storm Pro Solution is here to help you in your time of need, providing top roofing and water damage restoration services, tree removals, and storm damage assessments. Call Storm Pro Solution at 828-318-7096.
If you or your friends and family were impacted by the recent disaster and are in one of the communities approved for individual assistance from FEMA, you can apply for disaster assistance. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Robinson, CEO of Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation. Sandstone prides itself on providing compassionate care for all, not only to the residents, but to the staff, and that compassion extends beyond the walls of our facility to the community. Our employees deliver compassionate care because our employees are treated with the utmost level of compassion themselves. It's inherently in our culture.
Visit sanstonehealth.com.
When it comes to electrical needs in Asheville, trust the experts at Grigg Electric. Veteran-owned and operated, Grigg Electric is Asheville's #1 choice for electrical services. They offer a variety of electrical services for residential, commercial, or industrial installations in Buncombe, Henderson, Madison, McDowell, and Yancey counties. Call Grigg Electric today, 828-232-0021. That's 828-232-0021. Serving Western North Carolina since 1976. Online at griggelectric.com.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real, in the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is ESPN Asheville, and it is a football Friday here in the Sportsocracy. He can't scream it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm over here shivering like it's the 8th scene of the Titanic over here.
Got to get this guy some soup or something.
I'll never let go, Rose. I'll never go.
Oh, best bets of the weekend. We'll have it all for you coming up here over the next few hours here in the Sportsocracy on a football Friday. The last night was just gross. Absolutely gross. Nobody should feel good about what happened last night. The Broncos, okay, you got a W. Move on. Stop trying to brag. 33-10 over a god-awful New Orleans Saints team who has given up on their head coaches. Well, just move on. Just move on.
Did you see what the game is next week?
The Thursday night game next week? I did not. What Thursday night game do we have next week?
Minnesota at the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, that could be terrible.
You got Jets-Texans on Halloween night.
Okay.
That might not be terrible.
Okay.
Week 10, Cincinnati-Baltimore. That should be okay.
More palatable. Yeah. So Thursday night games are still. We still have a problem with quality games on Thursday nights. Is that what we're saying?
Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, last night was not good. Next week's probably not going to be good. I mean, depending on how many of the. I mean, is Puka coming back next week?
I
know.
I can genuinely say I don't know.
I think Cooper's supposed to be back this week, which would be good for that matchup next week between the Vikings and the Rams. If Puka were on the way back next week as well, then that could, we're building back. But good Lord, the New Orleans Saints, I've never seen a team so killed by injuries. And then everybody just goes, we don't want to play.
Yeah, I haven't seen building back better this bad that wasn't Joe Biden related.
Dear. 9:30 on Sunday morning.
I always love when I can just make him go, nope.
No, moving on.
No, sir, I will not do that.
The next quote unquote prime time assault on your eyeballs.
Oh, this is as bad as it gets.
9:30 on Sunday morning. The London game between the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You want to talk about, here's another one. If a team wants to get their coach fired, Jacksonville, you do what the New Orleans Saints did last night. And you, too, can have a brand new head coach.
I feel like this violates some kind of treaty that we should have with London. All right, we're not still mad about, all those years ago.
Yeah, this was written into the Treaty of Versailles somewhere.
For sure.
We will never assault Britain again. And apparently
we're about to assault eyelids with Trevor Lawrence and Drake May. Oh. Is it weird that I think New England's going to win this game going away?
No, it's not.
Jacksonville's a 6-point favorite. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
I'm glad you said it before I had the chance to, because I was sitting here thinking, this is ridiculous. Jacksonville should not be a 6-point favorite against Alabama.
Jacksonville should not be a 6-point favorite against 53 guys that they found in New England that were wearing the old Minuteman uniforms. Patriot Pat shows up to take some snaps. That team should be a 4.5-point dog to Jacksonville. They are awful.
Yeah.
This was the first line that I saw and went, what are we doing?
I mean, what is the advantage?
For Jacksonville?
What is the advantage for Jacksonville?
I don't see one.
I mean, because the analytics say they should win this game. You got the FPIs at 69.6% for Jacksonville to win. You've got, how's the Vegas money split on this game?
Ooh,
I would love to know what that is.
I'll bet you it has a nice lean to New England.
Right, how much of the money is on Jacksonville? Where is the belief that Jacksonville can beat anybody by a touchdown? New England, true or false, is a good defensive team.
Good-ish, yes.
Okay, true or false, Jacksonville is a good offensive team.
False.
So how do you – that's kind of end of story right there for me. How do you possibly think a full touchdown?
So you asked about the money
is the spread
on this game?
Yeah.
As of right now, Moneyline market is 43% of the money's on New England on 20% of the tickets, which means you've got some heavy hitter sharp money coming in on the money line.
Yeah.
And roughly 75% of the money's on New England cover the 6. And it's gone up.
Yeah. And it should continue to go up, should it not?
Well, no, it started at 4.5 and now it's all the way to 6.
Oh.
Those always make me nervous of maybe Vegas knows something we don't know. I mean, because Drake May's hurt. I do know that much.
Is he?
He expects to play. Mm-hmm. But maybe they know he's more hurt than I think. Because if it's Jacoby Brissett, I feel less good about this. But I would still take New England minus 6.
Yeah.
Or plus 6, excuse me.
Right. Maybe not take them straight out.
I would not take them to win. I will take them to win with Drake May.
Yeah. New England plus the 6 and under 42.
Oh, you could have told me this. It was 22.
And I had to take the under.
The better question is over under. How many beers do you have to drink to actually watch the 60 minutes of this game?
Right.
Over under 13.5 at 9:30 in the morning.
If Jacksonville wins, it's because of what?
Trevor Lawrence has one of those one-off games where he avoids Christian Gonzalez and Marcus Jones can't deal with Whether it's, I think Christian Gonzalez will get a lot of Brian Thomas, and Christian Kirk has one of those games, or Gabriel Davis has one of those games.
Evan Ingram, is he back? He's questionable.
He is questionable, leaning on the side of more probable than questionable.
But I don't see this as being the big Travis Etienne game.
I don't either.
Where he gets cut loose, because I just don't think New England does that very much.
No.
They're going to be keyed in on stopping that part of the Jacksonville offense. It's one of those things that doesn't make any sense to me, which means Jacksonville's probably going to win by 14. And we'll just come in and go, yeah, missed it.
Oops.
Oopsie poopsie.
Yep. That's why the NFL's drunk. That doesn't make any sense.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN. We're both still kind of croupy here.
Oh, yeah.
Working through some things. We will take a break here, try to catch our breaths. When we return, we will continue to run down the weekend games, big games all over football this weekend. We got some huge ones in college as well. We'll have the daily draft coming up at the top of the third hour of the program. Stick with us here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, good-looking Friday afternoon, everyone. No rain in the forecast and no rain for the next several days. I keep beating that drum because it's appropriate. 7 days, 10 days, maybe longer. Enjoy the next few, though. The weekend's going to be good. Mid-60s today and sunny. Tomorrow in the upper 60s. By Sunday with sunshine in the mid-70s. The overnight lows will average in the upper 30s to the low 40s. From the Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stagich.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
The 2024 general election is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC is covering every angle of it for you. From the local elections right here in Western North Carolina to the state offices in Raleigh, and of course the race for the White House. News Radio 570 WWNC is your official election information station.
If you and your friends and family were impacted by the recent disaster and are in one of the communities approved for individual assistance from FEMA, you can apply for disaster assistance. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
Fire, flood, wind damage, arguably a homeowner's worst nightmare. For nearly 4 decades, First Restoration Services has been helping people recover from disasters with trust, integrity, speed, and quality. If you have a disaster, call them today, 1-800-537-6151, or online at frs247.com.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, we are back to playing football on Friday night, and man, does that sound good. Irwin will be at TC Robertson. Nothing brings the community together like high school football, and Danny Wilkins and Sean Crow and myself, Brian Hall, will be there to call the action. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 7 with a kick at 7:30. On AM 1400, Tuscola will be on the road at West Henderson. Chris Kelly and the gang will have the Mountaineer Countdown to Kickoff show at 7:30 with a kickoff at 8. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy. Let me help you.
But at Ingalls, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingalls,
See you later, Dad.
all the ingredients for family.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and there's a lot of questions going on down in Tampa right now after Hurricane Helene came through, and we all saw what it did to the Trop. Ripped the roof off of the Trop, and they felt that they needed to announce earlier this week that they would not be starting the season next year with the Tampa Bay Rays playing at home, which I felt like was a little unnecessary. I figured I thought we all should know that was not going to happen. They would not be able to get a roof and structurally secure that place in time for the start of the next baseball season. But now apparently there's talk down there of, do we even do this? Do we even fix it? They've already planned to build a new stadium and move to new digs somewhere in 2028. So now apparently part of the discussion is maybe this is a sunk cost and we don't open it at all. I don't know what you would do with them in the meantime. Like, do you end up with the same kind of thing that you had with who was it Toronto? Remember during COVID, and they had to bounce around stadiums and play in Buffalo and stuff like that because they couldn't cross the border. Do you try to do that with a professional baseball team for 3 years?
Well, I mean, you're going to displace tens and tens of fans.
There is that. There is that. It's one of those things that they're gonna have to consider. Of, do we even put the cost into it?
Tampa Bay, where you get 6,000 people for a canasta tournament and 600 for a Major League Baseball game.
Pickleball's huge down there.
Huge. My story it's also huge. It's about Ryan James' wedding. He's a 43-year-old. At one time was on the Canadian snowboarding team, and apparently he has turned into El Chapo. He is accused of running an enterprise that moved 60 tons of cocaine.
Woo!
There are 2,000 pounds in a ton. That is 120,000 pounds of cocaine. That's a lot for a guy that went whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Okay? Apparently he's working with the Sinaloa cartel now. I think this is one of the top 5 weirdest stories I've ever heard.
That is very strange.
And apparently he's not new to law enforcement. So in 2006, there was a search warrant for him in Maple Ridge, which is beyond a shadow of a doubt the most Canadian city name I've ever heard.
No doubt.
They were investigating a marijuana growing operation, but they never charged him.
Okay.
In 2010, he was sentenced to prison after being convicted of conspiracy to distribute cocaine and served, quote, some time in prison. And now, 14 years later, he's El Chapo.
Wow. And it all started because he was trying to sell a little weed.
Well, I mean, he was a fan of snow. That's a lot of snow.
That is true. That's quite a bit. Quite a bit. You're in the Sportsocracy?
I feel like we get so many of these stories now that it just feels like a Mad Lib gone wrong. Canadian downhill skier was arrested for distribution of cocaine.
That's not just distribution, though. That's empire level cocaine.
60 tons of cocaine a year is a lot.
Yikes. Whew. Didn't realize he had that many connections. I didn't know Canadians knew that many people. Were they selling it to the Moose?
At Sports Tank.
It is the Sportsocracy. It is a football Friday, and there is a theory in the chat, Jeremy, from about the Patriots-Jaguars game. Apparently, New England not good at stopping the run, so the theory is that Tank Bigsby is going to be the one who does the damage for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't mind Tank Bigsby. I just don't think you're winning a game like this on the back of him.
Yeah.
You're going to need Trevor to be better than he has been.
All right, let's hop into the 1 o'clock slate on Sunday. Atlanta Falcons against the Seattle Seahawks. It's a 3-point spread.
Which is stupid.
It should be more.
For sure.
Which means Atlanta minus the
I'll
3.
I'll take Atlanta, and I didn't think about that for more than a second.
Throw that into your parlay. Whatever parlay you need, throw Atlanta minus the 3 in there as as an odds booster.
West Coast team coming east for a 1 o'clock kickoff. I get the better team, and I'm only laying a field goal at home. Make that make sense to me.
Will there be points?
Oh, over-under's 51.5. I'd probably take the over.
Really?
I think this is one of the – I'll put it this way. For DraftKings this week, I have pieces of this game.
You'll have Kenny Walker, right?
Probably no.
Really?
I'll probably have DK Metcalf.
Okay.
A.J. Terrell really struggles with big wide receivers. And I don't think they have anybody that can deal with him.
And who on the Atlanta side?
Probably Drake London. Because Reek Woolen's going to get him, and he is going to absolutely annihilate Reek.
Okay.
He's a big physical receiver, and that's just – Reek is really good with the faster 9 route kind of receiver. Drake London's not really – that's not his forte.
Mm-hmm.
That will probably be the path that I go. I may have a small flyer on Bijan Robinson somewhere. Although I don't know why I keep doing that to myself every single week.
Has it not been working out for you?
It's fine. It just could be so much better because they insist on running Tyler Algier, which I do not understand.
Well, he's on the team too.
Well, that's fine. So is Young Ho Koo. That doesn't mean we're giving him 8 carries.
Well, you don't want to wear Bijan out.
No, I get it. I mean, I think 15 carries, we can do a little better than that.
Yeah. You don't want him more up in that 2021 range.
I do.
That's fair. It's fair to ask.
And look, I think Tyler Algier's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's nowhere near the level of Bijan Robinson.
No. Not at all. Seattle Seahawks, Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. Atlanta is 3-point favorite. And you said over the 51?
Yeah. I'd take over the 51.
I was thinking under, but okay. How about Tennessee and Buffalo? That's another 1 o'clock game. Orchard Park. Buffalo's a 9.5-point favorite.
It's come down to 8.5.
Has it now? Okay. And Tennessee is not good.
No.
And Buffalo, I mean, do you expect much out of Amari Cooper in the
not really
in the first game here?
I mean, he'll have a probably 15 plays that he's really familiar with, really comfortable with. It's not really that I'm looking at. I'm curious to see running game of the Buffalo Bills. Can they get over on Tennessee? Or does this become another one of those games where Josh Allen just has to do it all by himself? I think Buffalo's going to win. I thought 9.5 felt a little high. 8.5's getting closer to where I would have been. I can't bring myself to say Tennessee. I want to really badly.
Just because you don't like that many points being involved.
I hate giving up 8.5 points in a pro game.
But I honestly don't. I honestly don't think Tennessee is good. Like I know they're good defensively, but I don't think
they just have nothing on the offensive side that worries me.
Right, but I don't think they're that good defensively. I think you add in another piece like Amari Cooper. Josh Allen is going to hurt you. There's no doubt about it. He was going to put up 27 points in this game anyway. The best Tennessee's defense could be. I think that's about the limit. You add another piece like that, and you got to. I just see the opportunity for this to be ugly, much like the Packer game was a few weeks ago.
I could see that. Look, Tennessee is the best passing defense in the NFL as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're top 10 against the run, but I think the run is where you can actually get at them. This feels like one of those games that Josh Allen has had in the past, Arizona week 1, where he feels like he has to do everything, and then he gets himself into trouble. And that's why I do think this will be closer, but I can't bring myself to say Tennessee covers this number.
Over under on total turnovers.
Oh.
In the game. Between Will Levis and Josh Allen, how many turnovers do we see?
4. I would say 2 apiece.
Okay.
I'd say the Lions would probably be 3.5.
3.5.
And I would take the over.
Mm-hmm.
This just has gross game written all over it to me. I love the under, but I think this game ends up being like 17-7 Bills.
Yeah. Under the 41.
For sure.
Hard.
I was shocked it was that high.
Oh,
that struck me as a game that was going to be 36.5.
I was going to say you don't normally see them too much lower than that.
Rare, but it happens. And
Right.
I feel like this would be. You have one team that can't score that has a really good defense. You got another one that's got a pretty good defense and a prodigious quarterback.
Another one that's in the ballpark of that, the over under for the Bengals at the Browns is 41.5. And I think I'm heavy on the under on that one too.
I will not be as heavy on that one. I will take Cincinnati minus 5.5. I would say over 41.5. And I think you're going to see a steady dose of Nick Chubb in this game.
I think you will as well, but I don't know what that's going to lead to.
Cincinnati's not been great stopping the run.
Yeah, but Cleveland hasn't been good running the ball.
Well, there's a big difference between Nick Chubb and Deontay Foreman.
There is, but he still doesn't have the blockers. Right? I mean, that was part of Jerome's problem was because the offensive line's been hurt. And they have it.
I don't 100% agree with you on that.
Okay.
I mean, you're not wrong. I think you're just being a little too generic in how you're saying that.
Okay.
A bigger problem is that they played the Cowboys and the Giants and the Commanders and the Eagles. And you have big bodies there, and they have no fear of your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati's so killed in the secondary that they have to have at least a little fear of your quarterback. So that safety comes out of the box. I do think Nick Chubb will be able to run on this team.
Okay. And do you think, did you say you liked Cleveland in this?
No.
No.
I'd say 27-20 Cincinnati.
Okay. Current spread on the game is 5.5.
Yeah, I'll take Cincinnati. It's that one strikes me more as who's going to get over the top for Cincinnati. Does Cleveland have any form of solution for Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, or do we just get Joe Burrow throwing for 380 yards? Because I don't love the running options for Cincinnati in this game. I'm not high on Chase Brown. I'm not high on Zach Moss.
Yeah. I worry about Nick in the first game back.
You're going to get about 12 carries.
That's it?
10 to 12.
Okay.
He won't get a full workload. But even having him back there will be enough to bring that safety up, and that might help Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a good one to squeeze in here before the end of the hour. The Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts.
If you watch more than 5 seconds of this game, you're a sadist.
Is there anything that makes you think Anthony Richardson starting this game is a good idea?
No.
I don't either. Ever since they said it, I was thinking, I don't know. Maybe we need to just ride with the Joe Flacco thing for a minute.
Joe Flacco is the best quarterback for that team right now.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that if you're not good, and Indianapolis is not, and they know it, you're only going to allow this to roll for so long. And, I mean, is it official that Anthony Richardson's starting this game? Because I haven't seen the official.
It's not official, but I think he's practiced, and the signs are pointing to Anthony Richardson will be the starter. It's still like a game time decision.
I don't know. I look at this as this is a good opportunity for him to get a momentum win under his belt, because it is in Indianapolis. You're catching a defense that's just flat out not been very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they would struggle with his ability to run if they would allow him to do it.
Right.
Shane Steichen has really tried to keep him from doing that, which to me is really stupid. But you draft a guy like that, you can't neuter him. The reason he's here is because he's a giant and he's really athletic and he's a really good runner.
Yeah, but do you have to pull the reins back to a certain extent Right, or you're just gonna run him out there and get him killed.
Well,
right when it was kind of
and gotten him killed anyway.
Well, I get it, but you have to limit those opportunities as much as possible.
The fact that Anthony Richardson's rushed the ball 21 times in 4 games is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you had told me that coming in, I didn't like him in the first place, but if you're going to put that kind of rain on him, he's averaging 7 yards a carry. If you're going to put a rain like that on him, you shouldn't have drafted him in the first place.
Right.
I mean, if that's all you're worried about is, he's going to get hurt, okay, well, here's the opposite side of that. You're going to put him in the pocket. He's completing 50.5% of his passes. He is a god-awful NFL quarterback. And you're just wasting time. I do think you will see him out of the pocket if he plays. And I do like Indianapolis to beat Miami.
Are you wasting time or are you buying time to develop him more?
Well, there's no developing him.
Maybe he's a better runner, right? He makes.
He's already a good runner. He's doing it well now. That's the best arrow in his quiver. It is so stupid to me that I watch teams do this, where we draft that guy and then we try to make him something that he's not. Anthony Richardson, if he can't run, doesn't belong in the NFL. Period. That's as simply as I can put it. So you're either going to let him run, you let him do what got him here, or we're just going to keep circling the drain until you have to blissfully move on.
Yeah. Or we keep running him and then having to throw Joe Flacco out there because he's constantly hurt. You're just stuck in this never-ending cycle of damned if you do and damned if you don't. And the only problem I have with that is all signs point to you damn well better, or you're not going to win very many games. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. Please text the 2 letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. Text AM to 52886.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt. Just check out some of their Google reviews. One user writes, I'd been avoiding visiting the dentist for years due to poor experiences in the past. I had quite a few visits and procedures at Summit in the last year, and each and every one was made comfortable by the staff that work there. They're all kind and compassionate and take extra time to make sure your comfort level is right where it should be. Summit Dental in Asheville. Call them today, 828-277-6868 or online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
You don't have to keep living with that joint pain. Real lasting relief is possible with help from QC Kinetics. People here are getting their lives back, getting their mobility back, thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies that can revitalize your joints. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine using your own body's healing properties, highly concentrated and carefully placed in your achy joint. Back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain. These are cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a quick, in-office procedure that can get you moving again. These protocols have been developed by medical professionals and under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a former orthopedic surgeon and a pioneer in clinical regenerative medicine. Listen, is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things you love? Pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder? You owe it to yourself to learn more. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. In Asheville and Greenville.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Man, it feels good to be able to give picks again. It's been a while. And this week I have more dogs than you would have ever thought I would have in a week back. But we start with favorites. BYU's an 8.5-point favorite at home against Oklahoma State. Why is it so hard for Vegas to understand that Oklahoma State is terrible? Ollie Gordon, who was supposed to be a Heisman candidate, is averaging 3.9 yards a carry. BYU is going to hurt your feelings. Give me the Cougs minus 8.5. Miami's a 5-point favorite at Louisville. Louisville is like ACC hot. You're still not pretty, but everything around you is so bad that it makes you look prettier than you are. Miami is pretty good, and Cam Ward's going to have a day. Give me the U, -5 at Louisville. Missouri's only a 4-point favorite at Auburn. Make that make sense to me. That feels like you're outsmarting yourself because Auburn is terrible. I get it. Missouri got slaughtered last week, but that was against a markedly better Texas A&M team. Missouri wins, and they win by a lot. But I need a dog.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
It's not just a dog, it's a road dog. Nebraska +6.5 at Indiana. I get it. Curtis Rourke's been really, really good. Nebraska's pretty good too, and 6.5 is straight up disrespectful. Kurt Zignetti should probably be coach of the year, but Matt Rule should be getting some of that love too. Nebraska probably doesn't win this game, but I do think they cover. And finally, my former love, the Florida State Seminoles are a 3-point dog at Duke. Good Lord have mercy. There's words that I never thought I would say ever. Duke's bad, like really, really bad. And Florida State's bad, really, really bad. But Florida State's had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and I do think they might mercifully get a win against Duke.
All right.
Here's things I never thought I'd say. Get a program-building win against Duke.
That'd make you what, 2-5?
2-5. The 2-5 Florida State Seminoles. It'd be worse if they're 1-6. Oh. Mike Norvell, you need to go take up waxing surfboards or something. You are terrible.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll have more bangers at the end of the next 2 hours. Football Friday rolls on after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, good-looking Friday afternoon, everyone. No rain in the forecast and no rain for the next several days. I keep beating that drum because it's appropriate. 7 days, 10 days, maybe longer. Enjoy the next few, though. The weekend's going to be good. Mid-60s today and sunny. Tomorrow in the upper 60s. By Sunday with sunshine in the mid-70s. The overnight lows will average in the upper 30s to the low 40s. From the Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stagich.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You know, I couldn't stop talking about it to my family and friends. My knees are my trouble spot. But for me to tell them now that I'm doing so much better, they were amazed, and I've been amazed.
QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies. Yes, it is amazing how these non-surgical treatments deliver joint pain relief for patients like Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor.
Each week I just started noticing that I could sleep and not have pain. I could play pickleball. I could do a CrossFit exercise routine.
QC Kinetics revitalizes your joints so you can move again without the pain pills or invasive surgery.
You know, I'm 60 years old and I want to stay competitive as long as I can. And QC has allowed me to do that. They did me right and really made a difference in my life.
Book your free consultation with QC Kinetics today and experience the difference for yourself.
I like to go, move, move, move.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. We are seen everywhere, live in the Ingalls studio on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat, share your thoughts with us here in the place where we share everything, including germs.
Yeah,
apparently.
If you see a shivering chihuahua on the screen, that's me, because I'm freezing in a room that I just so happen to know is always hot because Tank gave me his germs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now I'm going to die.
Yeah. Now he's sick. Now the weekend's ruined, and it's all my fault.
Fact.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
I'm just glad that you have the self-awareness to understand I'm going to call you on the hour every hour when I wake up to consume some orange juice just to ruin your weekend as bad as you ruined my wife's.
No. Yeah, I feel bad for Amy. She's going to have to put up with whiny Jeremy on the weekend.
And I'm so bad when I'm sick. Like, you think I'm annoying when I'm healthy? Oh.
Do you do that whole, will you please bring me some soup?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Because I'm a 6'5" man. I go, can I have some soup, please? That would be awesome.
I'm going to say that's what a lie sounds like.
Actually, Amy is one of the best people. In terms of, like, taking care of you, she's the best. She was bringing me Dayquil and stuff this morning.
Good.
Mainly because I opened my eyes and she went, whoa, you look like roadkill.
She's good people. You'll be in good hands.
Oh, for sure.
No
Unfortunately, she is going to have to put up with the whiny marathon that is going to be made for the next 2 days.
We hope that your weekend is sniffleless. Hope that you're feeling above the weather and not under it. Lately, it's been a rough go, and being sick on top of everything else has not been great for me, not great for Jeremy, not for anybody. So we hope everybody is doing well out there.
I do have some of that Tennessee creek water that might wear this off of me quicker than most.
It definitely burn it out, no doubt about it.
Like a tick, burn out the ladder.
It is a football Friday here in the Sportsocracy. Jeremy will yell at you once again next Friday.
I hope so. If you don't give me cholera or whatever god awful thing you come up with next week.
Whatever I cook up next.
Lupus. I don't even know what lupus is.
Lupus.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't think that's
George Costanza thought he got it on an airplane one time. I do know that.
Yeah, no, that one's out of my wheelhouse. I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know. I don't know what you've given me here, but it's not good. Yeah. I know that much.
Yeah. Miami and Indianapolis. Did we even plant our flag on a winner there?
Indianapolis.
Did we?
Yeah.
Indianapolis. You did? Okay. Indianapolis minus the 3, as they're currently listed here on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Over under the 43.5.
That feels right. I would go under, but not with any form of confidence.
You're right.
If it was Joe Flacco, I'd go over, but I don't think it will be.
Don't think it will be. Let's go. Another 1 o'clock game on Sunday on this Football Friday here. The Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Football Giants. And it still seems weird to me to look at the Philadelphia Eagles and think they're only a 3.5 point favorite.
You want to do it, don't you?
What? To say that the Giants are going to. I do. Part of me really wants to be on the Giants side on this and go, this is going to be the game where we all flip. Those who are left still clinging on to some little hope about Nick Sirianni, this could be the game where it flips. But I don't think it will.
I didn't think about this for a minute. I'm taking Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You got Dexter Lawrence is questionable, Brian Burns is questionable, no Kayvon Thibodeau. That's the best thing the Giants do, and it's not there. This feels like a trap. I'm taking Philadelphia.
Yeah. Philadelphia minus the 3.5, despite the fact that they are still not a good team.
If you had told me in terms of PFF grade, Daniel Jones would be better than Jalen Hurts 6 weeks through the season, I would have said you were on crimes.
Mm-hmm.
But he has been.
Under 42.5.
No. No, I think Philadelphia's going to win this by a lot.
How many of the touchdowns will Saquon Barkley score?
Oh, 2 minimum.
Revenge game.
Look, even if all these guys play, they're not at 100%, and that's the one thing the Giants do really well. This has bad written all over it. I mean, I'm thinking like 31-10.
Mm-hmm.
31-17, something like that.
Yep. Not going to be a good weekend for the Giants, and one more week of having to put up with Nick Sirianni. He's not going anywhere. I just really want him to.
Probably at the end of the year. When Jeffrey Lurie and Harry Roseman look around and go, man, this is a talented team.
Yeah.
And we have a doofus as a coach.
At some point, the dumbassery will get to be too much for them. But probably not going to happen while they have a winning record, and they'll be 4-2 after they beat the Giants this week. Let's go save the best for last in the 1 o'clock slate here. We got two games to discuss. Let's go Texans-Packers first. The 5-1 Texans at the 4-2 Green Bay Packers. The Packers are a favorite at home. Should they be?
Yes. If this game was in Houston, I would feel really good about Houston. It's going to be a little rainy. It's going to be pretty cold. And all of that just benefits Green Bay. I don't like C.J. Stroud in weather games.
Mm-hmm.
He has it's a very small sample size, but he has not been great in weather games. And I don't think this one's going to be terrible. It's just isolated showers, but it's cold, it's gross. And I like Green Bay here.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be, what it says, 56 at game time. Won't be too terrible cold. With the rain, it won't feel great.
56 in the rain is cold.
Could be worse, though.
I mean, now I'm in a room that's 74 degrees and I'm shivering, so the thought of being in that makes me kind of want to die.
Yeah, not everybody playing this game is going to have the flu, Jeremy. So
it's quite possible.
So there is that. I mean, you figure ground and pound game here, and this is just Green Bay's going to run it down their throat, control the clock with Josh Jacobs, and it'll be stem to stern, or are you expecting a little bit of fireworks?
I mean, I do like the over in this game. It went down when the weather was released that we did think there would be some form of weather in this.
Right.
I still think it will be 31-24 or something like that, 31-27.
Right. Okay. So you are on, the over?
Yes.
47.5?
Yes, this is a game that I don't know how popular it will be because people will be buoyed off by the weather. But, man, if it doesn't rain, that's something you better have some pieces of. Because it could be the shootout game of the week.
Right. And I was wondering how much action will be on Jacobs this weekend.
I don't like Jacobs nearly as much as you seem to. That's not the side of this that I like Jaden Reed a lot. Because Houston just doesn't really have anybody to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because he plays so much out of the slot. And Stingley will end up on the outside probably with Christian Watson if I had a wager.
Okay. So you're going Green Bay to cover?
Yes.
At home?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'll be on Houston plus the 3 on that one. I still just don't have the faith in Green Bay. And were the weather to be a little bit worse, maybe I would think that would be more of a home field
advantage. You don't have the faith in Green Bay, but you do have the faith in Houston. Explain that to me.
Because I think C.J. Stroud's better.
Oh, he certainly is.
I just think he's flat out better quarterback. I think you've got. I don't know. I think it's just a better all around team.
Oh,
I like their receivers better than I like Green Bay's receivers.
It's close though.
I like their running backs better than I like Green Bay's running back.
I don't.
You don't like Joe Mixon better?
Joe Mixon's fine, and look, he's had a good start to the year when he's been out there. He just hasn't been out there much. I mean, look, I think Houston's a fine team. They haven't been as impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And look, they were my Super Bowl pick. They still are my Super Bowl pick. I need to see them hit that stride in one of these games, and they haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
And this feels like a big ask.
Yeah. Are they going to do it in the rain on the road at Lambeau? I get it is a tough ask. And then the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. That's the final 1 o'clock game on Sunday that we haven't talked about yet. Minnesota's a 1.5-point favorite at home.
Is this line not just reek to you?
What do you mean?
This line stinks to me.
Why?
Detroit should be a favorite. In Minnesota, in Detroit, I don't care. They're markedly better than Minnesota.
I'm not so positive about that.
Okay,
I don't know.
What? All right. So
I don't know
what is it exactly that they do better?
What, that Minnesota does better than Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure. I would my qualm there was with the markedly better. I don't know that they're markedly better.
I think they're markedly better. To me, Minnesota's defense feels like sleight of hand magic. They walk all these guys up, and you give somebody like Ben Johnson the opportunity to scheme against that, and I have a funny feeling he's going to make it look real, real stupid.
Okay.
There's a reason teams don't do that. Not all the time. Because once you figure it out, and I can pinpoint who's coming and who's not, then this becomes easy. Everybody's out of position.
Mm-hmm.
And I just look up and down Minnesota like, okay, you beat Green Bay, you kind of got lucky to beat Green Bay. You beat the Jets, you got lucky to beat the Jets. Beat San Francisco, you got kind of lucky to beat San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
Your other two wins were absolutely demolishing the Texans in a game that I don't have a lot of great rationale behind that.
Right.
And you smoked the New York Giants. Look, I think Minnesota's good. I think that has way more to do with Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson than it does with his defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I just get to this point of, you don't run well. I'm looking at Sam Darnold going up against Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. That's advantage Detroit for me.
Yeah. Which quarterback breaks is my question. Which one of them makes the mistake? And I've seen Jared Goff do this. I've seen him go into big games and make critical mistakes that kill his team.
Doesn't tend to do it at home, though.
Do what?
Doesn't tend to do it at home, though.
No.
This game's in Minnesota.
But they're, yeah.
It's in a dome. Jared Goff, the splits on him are grossly different when he's outside.
Okay.
This is a dome. That doesn't really...
Right. I think Sam Darnold and Minnesota are not your typical 5-0 team.
No.
Typically, you look at a 5-0 team, you go, "Damn, that team's really good." They're, that screams infallible. This team is far from infallible. I don't think one of those teams exists in the NFL. But I don't think they're this good.
I fully believe that if they weren't coming off a bye week, Detroit would be a favorite and all would be right with the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are overvaluing that.
I'm not. If Denver's getting points in any game, or Denver, if Detroit's getting points in any game, I'll take them.
I'm taking Detroit.
they're not a team that I would expect to lose week in and week out. I do think they're better. I don't think they're markedly better.
I'm taking Detroit, and I'll take the over with a big old smile on my face.
What is that at?
50.5.
50.5. Okay.
And I do like Justin Jefferson, and I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. And Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
And David Montgomery. And Sam Laporta. All of it. Just
just
a little bit of it.
Are you just trying to throw the dart and maybe you'll hit one of them, or do you think they're all actually going to have good games?
I think that's the highest scoring game of the week. And I don't think it's even close.
Oh, okay.
That could be the game that you needed to have 5 pieces of in the Millionaire.
Right.
Because I could easily see it being Darnold with Jefferson and Amon-Ra, and I feel like David Montgomery's gotten in the end zone so many times that at some point that has to flip to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
But they run the ball so well.
What about TJ? If he comes back, are you interested?
I don't know that he's going to play. It's not looking as encouraging as I thought it would.
Okay.
They have another week of the practice window. So I don't know that he's going to play this week.
Yeah.
If he does, I think he'll be on snap count. I'm not doing that for DFS or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, I could see him having a couple catches, trying to get him in rhythm.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Hey, Bo.
Hey, Matt.
Are you ready to tell the readers about the extra special episode we have coming up?
I think we have to let them in on our little surprise.
Yeah, if you haven't already figured it out, can't believe this, Mariah Carey will be joining us this week.
Wow.
Readers, publicists, Katie's, and finalists tune in to maybe the most unforgettable episode of Las Culturistas yet. Listen to Las Culturistas on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Las Culturistas and start listening.
If you or your friends and family were impacted by the recent disaster and are in one of the communities approved for individual assistance from FEMA, you can apply for disaster assistance. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362.
The 2024 general election is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC is covering every angle of it for you. From the local elections right here in Western North Carolina to the state offices in Raleigh, and of course the race for the White House. News Radio 570 WWNC is your official election information station.
Hey, at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find this Halloween.
Me thirsty.
Oh, hey Frankenstein. Did you enjoy that Cabernet?
Oh, good. Want margarita?
Well, all the villagers are raving about this tequila.
Ooh.
And we have it at the lowest price in town.
Economical.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingalls, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingalls,
See you later, Dad.
all the ingredients for family.
The Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy tries to hold in his breaths.
I'm so cold.
He went and got a jacket to put over his lap because he's freezing to death over here. Poor little Jeremy. I gave him my germs, and now he's sick. Hence the reason we were not on yesterday, because I was so sick that I just could not bring myself to do another show yesterday. And now I apologize, brother. It's going to be a rough weekend for you and your lovely wife, and I apologize for that.
It's not good.
It's just freezing.
Freezing.
It is very cold in the studio to begin with, so that is a bit of a problem.
Usually I don't complain about that, but today, complain.
It is a bit of a problem. It is a Football Friday here in the Sportsocracy. Hey, coming up after the next break, bottom of the hour, we are going to touch base with our good friend from the Weather Channel, Ray Stagich. Hung out with him down at the Georgia Clemson game to kick off the season on the Ingles Living the Dream tour. And we had chatted to him about, hey, we should bring you in on a Friday and just talk some football. And this is like the first Friday that we've had a chance to do so since then. So we're going to bring Ray in. We'll talk a little bit. He's a big Dallas Cowboys fan, so it should be fun to, see how much he will, push the FCC boundaries on what he can say about his dog water football team. And who knows what else he'll have in store for us. He said there's not going to be very much reporting on the actual weather, though. That was the original idea, was we can bring you on, Ray, and you could tell us about all the weather games this week. And he was like, there's no weather, which is something that is music to the ears of the people of Western North Carolina and the other hurricane-affected areas, that there is no weather really to speak of around the country right now. But we'll talk to him about some football things coming up at the bottom of the hour here on ESPN Asheville. 4 o'clock slate on Sunday. Let's talk about the Panthers and the Commies. They're headed to Washington, D.C. Carolina Panthers looking to upset the apple cart of one of the hottest teams in the NFL. I feel like we can safely say that about the Washington Commanders. I know they lost to the Ravens last week, but we talked a little bit about this on Monday. It really didn't feel like much of a loss, did it?
No, it was really just confirmation that this team's really good.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the quarterback right, and I think they are going to absolutely smoke Carolina.
Oh, it's not going to be fun. The Panthers have that. They do have the ability to still make this competitive looking, because the Washington defense is still not good. So I don't think they're going to have, a monumental task moving the ball against this defense. You're just not going to be able to stop them. It probably ends up being, I would say, somewhere in the neighborhood of like a 34-20 game, maybe. Maybe Carolina keeps it within 2 scores. I never thought I would say this season about them, but when I looked at the spread and saw that it was only 8, I went, well, I can take Washington minus the 8.
Yes, I'll take Washington minus the 8. I don't. You have more of a faith that Carolina can keep this close than I do, because I don't think they're going to. This has 34-20 or something of that nature written all over it.
Yeah,
I like Jaden Daniels this week. He's one of my top quarterback plays of the week. I'll tell you the one that you're going to tell me I'm crazy when I say this. I like Noah Brown so much this week. He's one of my cheap flyers in DFS lineups because if you looked at the number 2 corner for Carolina, not particularly good. And I think Noah's the deep shot that hits one over the top, probably gets to the end zone.
Right. And I know the final score that you and I both said would be over the 51.5. But if I'm putting money on that, part of me would want to put that on the under.
Yeah, I don't. It's one of the most prodigious offenses in the league. Going up against, the 4th worst defense in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
That has a lot of points written all over it. Brian Robinson Jr.
Yes. Most definitely Brian
Just
Robinson
play
Jr.
a running back against the Carolina Panthers. I've done that 6 weeks in a row. I've cashed 6 weeks in a row.
Really?
Yes.
I was trying to take a peep over here to see if I could find real quick what the over-under prop was on Brian Robinson Jr.
64.5 if I were betting me.
64.5 is where you think it's at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he splits a lot of tote.
I would be very interested in the over if that were in fact the case.
I would be shocked if it's much more than that.
Well, I'm not seeing it here. I'm seeing here's a prop for Chuba Hubbard rushing yards. You can get plus money on over 80. which is not great. I don't see Brian Robinson on there, though. It's my bad. You can probably find it. Yeah, I was going to say, you do this way more than I do. You probably know the better place to look. I don't think Carolina Panther fans hope for much these days other than just let's see a little bit of improvement. And last week you got to see Andy Dalton throw a couple of touchdown passes in the first half of that game. Hit one to Deontay Johnson. Give you a little highlight, but other than that, it's pretty much just trying to tread water and not get blown out at this point. And I think for the most part, since they've made the switch from Bryce Young to Andy Dalton, it's gone about as well as you could hope. Don't you agree? Because you weren't winning games anyway.
Yes.
But at least now you're seeing some flashes from guys like Deontay Johnson and Chuba Hubbard's. What did you say? He's like third in the NFL in total rushing or something like that, even though the Carolina Panthers are like 28th as a team. Chuba's one of the leaders in the league at rushing, and you're seeing Xavier Legette getting into the end zone a couple of times over the last few weeks. So there's some progress being seen. But the best you can hope for is not getting embarrassed. New Orleans Saints style.
For sure.
So, Washington Commanders, Carolina Panthers, of course, you can hear that game over on our sister station, News Radio 570 WWNC, this Sunday, 4 o'clock start for that ball game.
By the way, you were asking on that Brian Robinson rushing stat?
Yeah.
62.5.
Oh, you were close.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh, I thought you said 64 and a half.
62 and a half.
Okay. 62 and a half. I'll take the over.
I probably would too, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be surprised if he comes up with less than a 100-yard game. Because the Panthers still have their problems defensively. Raiders and the Rams.
Oh.
The absolutely killed Los Angeles Rams against the Las Vegas Raiders team that wasn't good to begin with. And now, apparently, Max Crosby is starting to make waves in some of his comments, saying that he's not here for a rebuild. First off, when was the build? Number one, to have a rebuild, there had to be a build to begin with.
And then you went into the year with Devontae Adams. And
and now, if Max Crosby wants out, this team has nothing to me.
It's a bad time for the Raiders. It's a bad time for the Raiders. I mean, and really, the Devontae Adams deal to me just throws up a white flag. We're not only are we bad, we know we're bad, and there's not a whole mess of hope. I mean, if you're a Raider fan, what are you watching this game for? You always want to have a hope of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
What is yours? Can't wait to see Alexander Madison and what he imparts this week. It's not good enough for me.
But the Rams -7?
That feels like a lot.
It does feel like a lot. As bad as the Las Vegas Raiders are, I'm still tempted to think they shouldn't be a full touchdown and extra point dog to the Rams, who I still not sure I can name you a receiver for them.
Well, I mean, you got to remember that this is going to be like a glorified home game for the Raiders because that's the way it goes every time they go back to L.A.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Cooper's coming back.
He is.
I think it's the only saving grace that L.A. has, and that right there in and of itself could be enough to beat the Raiders by 21.
I'm taking the Raiders.
Are you? All right.
I'm taking the Raiders.
Raiders plus
Cooper Kupp's questionable, by the way.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'll take the Rams to cover the 7. Under the 43.5?
Yes.
Yes.
I want nothing to do with this game. I don't want to watch it. I don't want it on my television. Frankly, I would be better off if I didn't know it even happened.
I was going to say, frankly, I don't want to talk about it anymore. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll hook up with Ray Stagich from the Weather Channel, talk some football after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, good-looking Friday afternoon, everyone. No rain in the forecast and no rain for the next several days. I keep beating that drum because it's appropriate. 7 days, 10 days, maybe longer. Enjoy the next few, though. The weekend's going to be good. Mid-60s today and sunny. Tomorrow in the upper 60s. By Sunday with sunshine in the mid-70s. The overnight lows will average in the upper 30s to the low 40s. From the Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stagich.
This report is sponsored by GeneratorFranchise.com. Millions protect their homes from power outages with Generac home standby generators. Would you like to be part of this lucrative industry? Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer, has limited franchise opportunities in your area. Learn more at GeneratorFranchise.com.
Storm Pro Solution is here to help you in your time of need, providing top roofing and water damage restoration services, tree removals, and storm damage assessments. Call Storm Pro Solution at 828-318-7096.
If you and your friends and family were impacted by the recent disaster and are in one of the communities approved for individual assistance from FEMA, you can apply for disaster assistance. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362.
Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation is known for compassionate care for all across its 18 North Carolina locations. Whether your loved one needs short-term rehabilitation or long-term care, our exceptional staff and comprehensive services are here to support their recovery or ongoing needs.
Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around, so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmitt's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town, packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real, in the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy. Heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. And if you've been listening to our show for a while, which I hope that you have, if you're new to the program, welcome in. And this will be the first time we've ever had a candid conversation with the one, the only, from the Weather Channel, Mr. Ray Stagich. Ray, welcome in to the Sportsocracy. And, sir, how is your football enjoyment life working right now? I mean, can you enjoy any of this as a Dallas Cowboys fan?
Not really. It was an absolute disaster. So, believe it or not, I actually turned to baseball. And I grew up a Yankee fan, and I probably hadn't watched a game in a couple of years. And I watched that game last night, and they lost, but that was a heck of a game. But being a Dallas Cowboy fan, Dallas Cowboy fans want championships. We don't want first round of the playoffs. We don't want stats. We don't want 12, 13, 14 wins. We want championships, and it doesn't look like we're getting that again this year.
Yeah, you may not have one of those for a while.
I think you're correct on that.
I mean, how could you? How as a Cowboys fan do you not get to the point where you go, you know what, Jerry, it's just enough, and I can't do this anymore?
I'm there. I actually have considered in my basement. I was going to take the bar because it's all Dallas Cowboy decked out. The walls are gray. I got a blue stripe and everything, and I'm like, you know what? I told my wife. I told my 2 girls. I said, you're going to come home one day, and those walls are going to be orange.
Going full Clemson.
I might be going full Clemson on them. So the oldest is fine with that. The youngest is like, well, what about my Bulldogs? Because she's going to be trying to get into UGA. And then I've got to kind of toe the line a little bit, and I'm going to have to balance it.
Yeah, see, you just give her one corner of the room, and she'll be fine. Just you can.
It's squatters' rights, right? If you're there first, right? So the oldest was Clemson first. I mean, you can't go back, and I'm that guy. I don't go back. I'm in. I'm all in. Sure, I'll root for the Bulldogs because I have before we were Clemson. But Clemson plays Georgia. Clemson all the way.
Yes, that's a good. That's a good way to be. I don't think anybody can expect you to drop your team.
I mean, although it's okay to drop your team when your team is Florida State, because I have and will.
Well, there is that. Yeah.
I don't know. The Blue Devils, they might give them the run for their money, but maybe they could pull it off tonight.
I never thought that I would be saying, hey, I do believe we have a chance to beat Duke.
You're saying there's a chance. Well, weather-wise, the weather is going to be great. I mean, I was looking, and I said, let me look across the slate of games, not only tonight, but this entire weekend.
Yeah.
And I don't think there is one game on this slate across the entire country that will be impacted by the weather. It is just a phenomenal fall weekend for football from, whether it's Florida State, Duke tonight with temperatures into the 50s at kickoff, Oregon at Purdue, beautiful weather there for tonight. Tomorrow, even for the Tigers, Virginia, pretty big game with Tony Elliott coming back home. Noon kickoff, a little chilly in the morning in Death Valley. If you're tailgating at 8 o'clock, it's going to be in the low 40s. So all the cities in the southeast that have games in the Midwest, they're going to be cool for the morning hours if you got a noon kickoff. But there's no rain. There's going to be plenty of blue sky, light winds. It is going to be absolutely beautiful. And if we're going to take and go the other way and go with the Georgia Bulldogs at Texas, 80 degrees for kickoff tomorrow night, one of the bigger games on the slate. It looks like the weather, even in Texas, is going to be beautiful. I can't find a game here where it's going to rain across the entire Division I slate.
Yeah, that's insane. And the fact that it's going to be sunny and 72 in Champaign, Illinois for Michigan and Illinois. It'll be 71 and sunny in Ames, Iowa.
Michigan's going to be lost with 72. Like, wait a minute. We're not used to it being warm.
Is it still going to be sunny and minus 22 degrees in Asheville, North Carolina tomorrow, though? Because that's how cold it feels for Jeremy right now.
Tank got me sick, Ray. I need.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry about that. No, it's going to be warming up. We'll probably be into the 70s finally. We'll get back to 70-degree temperatures, and it's been what it's been, and it's not going to change. I mean, it is going to be an outstanding weekend, extending all into next week, the whole eastern half of the nation. I even looked down into South Florida. I'm like, well, it always rains in South Florida, doesn't it? For South Florida playing UAB, and it's like nothing. I mean, there's not even a chance of a shower. Usually down in Tampa this time of year, there's shower chances, and there's not. As they get into the dry season tomorrow afternoon, probably approaching 77 degrees at kickoff at 3:30. They had some mornings in the 50s, the low and mid-50s, and you know what happens in Central and South Florida when it's in the 50s? They got their parkas on, they got their heavy jackets on. It was cold, and it looks like no showers for even Central and South Florida. Miami of Ohio taking on Ohio. Looks like some beautiful weather there, too, with a 3:30 kickoff.
Well, that's good. And everybody going over to Neyland Stadium tomorrow for
which we were supposed to, except you inflicted me with whatever this demon.
I gave you Ebola.
Scourge. You gave me this croup scourge or whatever it is, so we don't get to go to that game.
That one will be nice for Tennessee, Alabama as well.
Right.
Looks like good weather everywhere. Just in perfect time for Jeremy to sit in front of the fire with some soup.
Well, his eyes still work, right? He can still watch.
For the most part.
Watch.
I mean, they're a little hazy right now, but it's okay. It's good. It's good news that there's no weather anywhere, because I was talking to Mark about this earlier today. We had taken a little break after the show this morning, and we were driving around, and I had still not driven down around the river to see some of the damage that had been done down there from the flooding. It's just one of those things that I had been putting off doing. I had seen pictures. Seeing it yourself really kind of hits home, but as we were driving around and I was in astonishment at all of the things, I told him, I think it was last night, or it was not last night, and it was the night before last. I had stepped outside to bring my cat inside, and it was sprinkling. And as soon as the droplets of water hit me, I started to have a panic attack. Like, I still have this trauma of what we all went through. So the fact that there's no weather anywhere makes me feel really safe right now.
Yeah.
Really happy.
And it happens. I mean, you could even down in New Orleans, people still to this day, not only parts of that area in the Ninth Ward, and it never came back, but anytime you mention hurricane, or you wouldn't think in this part of the country, in Western North Carolina, that people would actually have now almost a phobia, in quotes, whenever you hear tropical storm or hurricane. Now people's eyes light up for, the wrong reasons, and just kind of like, oh no, now what's that mean? Is it coming this way? Is it, luckily even in the tropics, we've been talking about that the last couple of weeks too. Things have settled down. There's about 13% of the season to go. So, obviously the chance is always there, but less and less with each passing day of anything tropical getting into the U.S. Right.
Well, we're all thankful for that. This hurricane season can't get over soon enough for all of us up here from all of the things that we have been through. And Ray, we appreciate you always being with us and keeping us informed. I think we lost him. Okay, he's speechless at the
Are we still there?
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Oh, we're still. I'd lost you at the end there. I think you kind of cut off there.
Yeah, no, I was just saying we appreciate you being there for us and all, keeping us informed.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's really been quite a ride over the years, and I'm glad that we're getting this opportunity to talk a little bit more than weather. It's nice to unwind a little bit, talk about something else.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to keep it up. Have a couple of libations for me this weekend, and 12 for Jeremy because he's going to need it.
All right, hold on. What time is? Oh, gotta go.
It's about that time. It's 5:00 somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Ray Stagich from the Weather Channel here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how he does it. I don't know how you stick with the Dallas Cowboys after all of the things that you've been through.
Oh, I can explain it. I mean, look, I'm a Jets fan.
Sure.
I saw a TikTok video day before yesterday, I think. And it was a Jets fan talking about why you stick around here.
Yeah.
And I went even a little further of this is like buying sandwiches at just a terrible sandwich chain. Because if you buy 70 of them, you get that 71st free. And they all suck. Like, all of them suck. But that there's a possibility that one day they're not going to be terrible and it's going to be free.
Mm-hmm.
And if you abandon ship and then all of a sudden it's good, you're going to – it's sad that I can't even begin to explain. Because that'd be my luck.
Yeah.
I'd jump ship on the Jets. I would wind up a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Pat Mahomes would get abducted by space aliens, and the Jets would win 4 Super Bowls with me sitting on the sideline just going, yeah, that's how that was always going to go.
I mean, at least when you made the switch in basketball to the Denver Nuggets, you got to see a title, right?
Yes.
You got to see them win one. It would be so much worse if you didn't get to see them win that title and then the Knicks turn around and win one, which, I mean,
they're not winning.
They're not going to win it all at some point soon. That team's pretty good, though.
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're the second best team in the East. Woo.
If you're still looking for a way to get involved in the rebuilding effort of Western North Carolina, obviously volunteering your time is a great way to do so. Go over to heartswithhands.org. They are asking for volunteers over at Hearts with Hands. They also will gladly accept monetary donations at this time, and water donations. Water donations are going to be pretty big. We had Greg Lentz, the CEO with Hearts with Hands, on the morning show on News Radio 570 WWNC this morning, and he was talking about the number of pallets of water that they're going to need to reopen the schools, Jeremy, here in Buncombe County. There are 45, I believe there's 45 schools in Buncombe County schools, from elementary to middle to high and intermediate and all of those. Charter schools all included in that. They're all going to need bottled water to bring the kids back. They're going to need 80 pallets of water per day.
Wow.
To make all of that happen. So water donations are going to be huge as we try to stock up the schools and stuff. Again, monetary donations to heartswithhands.org. You can also sign up to be a volunteer with them as well. I know the other day they were looking for people that could come out and work the morning shift to help serve breakfast to all of the first responders that they've been feeding and such. So heartswithhands.org is a great place for that. Also, I stumbled upon this the other day. Minor League Baseball. They've got an auction up right now. You just go to MILB.com, and right across the top, there's a hurricane relief auction going on right now, and there are tons of items that have been donated. Cool baseball memorabilia, signed memorabilia from all over the country, many Asheville tourists items that are in there as well. Stephen Tao, just throw this out for you. I saw a really cool, there's a ball signed by both Matt and Jackson Holiday that is up for auction right now. All of the proceeds from this auction going to the Hurricane Helene relief effort. There is a jersey that is available in one of these auctions, Jeremy, though, that comes from a team that I've never heard this nickname before. It's the Oat Milkers. I'm not even
the what?
The Oat Milkers. I'm not even sure how you milk an oat, but it sounds like a dangerous proposition.
Sounds like something that somebody's going to make a slew of money on OnlyFans doing.
Fan package number 4 currently going for $110 on the you can get an Oat Milkers jersey. So just throwing that out there. Lots of cool stuff on that. Go check it out. MILBauctions.com. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Coming up at the top of the next hour, we will be discussing where to be this weekend in the football world, since unfortunately my frivolity and my my wanton disregard for Jeremy's safety has put him in peril. We will not be able to go to a game this weekend as
it's okay.
planned.
I'll get you back.
I'm afraid of what that payback could look like.
It's not gonna be great. I would not open my laptop bag anytime soon.
Oh, what did you do to my laptop bag?
I don't know.
I don't like the way that sounds. He snotted in it or something. Gross. Don't keep that to yourself.
Well, that would be the worst. That would be the least of your problems.
Oh, dear. We will be doing the daily draft at the top of the next hour with where are we going to go this weekend. Daily draft always brought to you by our good friends over at Dale's Pale Ale. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Coming up after the break, it'll be time for another set of bangers. Jeremy's got more picks of the weekend
Does your home need a new look? Step into a world of flooring possibilities at the Carpet Barn. Plush carpet, sleek hardwood, stylish tile. The Carpet Barn has it all. Whether you want comfort, durability, or that wow factor, you'll find it in their 300,000 square feet of flooring options. Find the perfect floor for your lifestyle and budget. Head to CarpetBarnCarolina.com for your free in-home estimate now. Veteran owned and operated. The Carpet Barn, the one-stop shop for flooring.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt. One user writes on their Google review, fantastic dental practice. Everyone I've come into contact with at Summit Dental has been very helpful and professional. The administrative front desk staff go out of their way to help with things that they don't have to do. Dr. Tompkins and Kim have been working on me recently, and they have been great about taking the time to explain everything they're doing to make it more comfortable for me. Summit Dental in Asheville. Call them today, 828-277-6868 or online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Haywood Community College offers over 30 programs of study to obtain your associate's degree or specialized certification. We can help you find the perfect program to pursue your educational journey while staying local, offering small class sizes with flexible classroom delivery options and transferable degrees and credits to numerous North Carolina universities. There's no telling where HCC could lead you. Save time and money by staying local. Visit haywood.edu for more information and to begin the registration process. And go Mounties!
If you or your friends and family were impacted by the recent disaster and are in one of the communities approved for individual assistance from FEMA, you can apply for disaster assistance. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Southern Rock Ride. The greatest Southern rock hits from the 70s and 80s. Skinner, 38 Special, Allman Brothers, and more. Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Southern Rock Ride, and listen now. Free never sounded so good.
This election year, there are so many issues that divide us.
Which candidate will wind up with the task of trying to unite us?
Join us as the future unfolds on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Western North Carolina's election station.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help.
But at Ingalls, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't get your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingalls,
See you later, Dad.
all the ingredients for family.
Dalton throws for the end zone, brought in by Deontay Johnson, who chucks the ball into the stands.
Hey, this is Anish Shroff. Join me, Kurt Coleman, Jim Zoki, and Sharon Thorsland Sunday as the Panthers travel to Washington to face the Commanders. Coverage begins with our pregame show at 3. Kickoff follows at 4:05 on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
Panther football live all season long on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Coffee's the closer's only. Get him the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
So good to have picks back. Because there are so many bangers this week, and I would have been really disappointed if I couldn't have given them all to you. We start with Rutgers, who's a 5-point favorite at home against UCLA. UCLA should be more than a 5-point dog if they were playing Rutgers Technical College for the blind. And I don't understand this line. They're 1-5. They haven't been competitive against hardly anybody, and their defense is not good enough. Rutgers wins this game by a lot. Give me Rutgers minus the 5. Next, Kentucky's a 1.5-point favorite at Florida. I get it. Florida should have beaten Tennessee, but they didn't. Kentucky hasn't been great, but Florida's still awful, and I don't care if this is in Florida. I don't care if they play this game on the moon. Kentucky, that's disrespectful. Give me the Wildcats -1.5. Wake Forest is a 2-point dog at UConn. UConn has a win over something called a Merrimack.
Yeah.
And they've beat a lot of low-level competition. They've been smoked every time they played a Power 5 team, and it's going to happen again here. Wake Forest wins outright. South Carolina, I'm taking them in the money line over Oklahoma. We've already been to South Carolina. The team's not bad. They just need a better quarterback. Lenora Sellers is still figuring it out. They got a lot of talent, and they can score, and Oklahoma can't. Give me South Carolina in the money line to win outright, and I have a feeling there's a banjo song over there that you could play like right now because it fits with what I'm about to do. I may not be there because Tank gave me his scourge, but I'm still taking Tennessee plus the 3. I think they win outright against Alabama. There is a recency bias, but people undervalue how good that Tennessee defense has been. Jalen Milroe is not a great quarterback. Anybody that tells you he is just patently wrong. I think they come into Tennessee, it's very loud, it's very animated, and the Tennessee defense carries them. I do think the offense will be a little better. That vaunted Alabama defense has not really shown up, and I haven't seen it against much lesser teams. Tennessee wins outright on Rocky Top.
I just let this play all day long. I love that song, and I hope it plays 80 billion times tomorrow against the Alabama Crimson Tide.
There's a great chance that it will.
Well, you know, Alabama is not – they ain't what they used to be. You don't have that same fear of Kalen DeBoer's Alabama as you did with Nick Saban's Alabama.
Well, they're just not
Coach
as
matters.
Well, I mean, and Nick Saban made really sure to say, "Oh, the defense looks so good." Well, the defense hasn't looked good. The offense looks so good. The offense hasn't looked good. So, I mean, at some point, I'm not just taking Nick's word for it.
No, and they're more gettable now than they ever have been,
for sure.
So Tennessee could come up with a big win here. Obviously, push Alabama down in the national race. With a loss to Tennessee, it's not over yet. They'd still have an opportunity to get into the college football playoff. I think it becomes a harder sell, obviously, with every loss that you take. But I think that's kind of the built-in grace that all of the SEC teams have of, look at those schedules. You lose 2 or 3 games on those schedules and still be, you're still one of the top 10 teams in the country and deserve a shot at a national title. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Where are you going to go? Coming up next, Daily Draft's on the way.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, good-looking Friday afternoon, everyone. No rain in the forecast and no rain for the next several days. I keep beating that drum because it's appropriate. 7 days, 10 days, maybe longer. Enjoy the next few, though. The weekend's going to be good. Mid-60s today and sunny. Tomorrow in the upper 60s. By Sunday with sunshine in the mid-70s. The overnight lows will average in the upper 30s to the low 40s. From the Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stagich.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
You don't have to keep living with that joint pain. Real lasting relief is possible with help from QC Kinetics. People here are getting their lives back, getting their mobility back, thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies that can revitalize your joints. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine using your own body's healing properties, highly concentrated and carefully placed in your achy joint. Back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, these are cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a quick, in-office procedure that can get you moving again. These protocols have been developed by medical professionals and under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a former orthopedic surgeon and a pioneer in clinical regenerative medicine. Listen, Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things you love? Pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder? You owe it to yourself to learn more. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
If you and your friends and family were impacted by the recent disaster and are in one of the communities approved for individual assistance from FEMA, you can apply for disaster assistance. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and you can watch us live in the Ingalls studio on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and you can join us in the chat. Are we still struggling with the webcams there? Is that
apparently my keyboard is... I figured out why it's happening, but now I don't know how to fix it.
Okay.
I'm too tired for all this.
We got these newfangled cameras in here that are really, really cool, and they're supposed to, follow like motion senses and stuff. I'm not sure that I have seen them do that, but for right now, they're trying to train themselves on the ceiling and keyboards and the back of my computer,
hands.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening here, but we're trying to keep it all under control. It's always an adventure in the Sportsocracy, and again, you can watch the camera flip show over at the YouTubes. Let's go to thesportsocracy.com. And don't forget to click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat, get your thoughts in on all of the games this weekend. If you disagree with our takes on games, you can throw that out there. You got special fantasy play this weekend. We can mention that as well. Yikes, there went that camera. Anyhow, where are you going to go this weekend? Seeing as how I got Jeremy sick and we have to cancel our trip to the Tennessee-Alabama game at Neyland Stadium, where are you going to go this weekend? Should nothing be, price not stand in your way from going to the games? I will take first selection here, and my number one pick for this weekend is going to be, it's Texas, Georgia. I feel like that is where everybody wants to be this weekend. If you're just a football fan in general. Number 1 against number 5. It's I don't want to call it a must-win game, but I feel like, all these games are must-win games, especially if you've already got a loss to your credit, which the Georgia Bulldogs do. So you're kind of at a have-to-win scenario. It's not like you're going to take a dive in the polls if you take this loss. They've already lost to Alabama, who's 7th in the country. If they lose to Texas, who's 1st in the country, they're still in the top 10 after this. Depending on how the game goes, you get shellacked. Of course, it's not going to look that good, and you could definitely lose a lot of ground that way. I don't know that Georgia has the ability, though. I think they have the talent to win, but I don't know that they have the ability right now. I have been disconnected from this team for a couple of weeks, but still following it on the outside, I don't think much has changed. You're still the same team for the first 3 weeks of the year that was just playing with your food constantly. And I don't know what it is about, is it they lay back to get the scene, to get the lay of the land before they want to try to do anything offensively. I am so sick and tired of this Mike Bobo screen game for the first two halves or 2 quarters of football. It makes me want to pull my hair out by halftime.
Well, to me, I've never thought Georgia was this juggernaut. We just put them to the top here because we had Carson Beck, who was Heisman front runner and things like that.
Right.
I don't see that. You say it's Mike Bobo. I think you have a limitation at quarterback. I have never been a Carson Beck guy, and I never will be.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot do the most basic of quarterbacks. Now, he can do special things, but it's so inconsistent. And then you come up against a team that is really talented in Texas. And this feels like a spot where they have the line about right.
Uh-huh.
I think it's too many points, but I still think you should be the dog.
It's 4.5. Is that where the line's at now?
Yes.
Texas minus 4.5 against Georgia. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Jeremy told me before the show started today that Uga's not making the trip, which he's scared of that big old cow. He don't want any piece of that cow.
He doesn't want any of Bevo.
Nope.
And I don't blame him.
No, not at
after
all.
how it went the first time.
No, the cow charged at him. I think he got charged at by the buffalo too when they brought him down to Athens a couple of years ago.
Maybe just stop putting livestock on the sideline.
That could be a good idea.
Maybe we shouldn't have livestock on the sideline. That's
Texas is at home though, and I do like Texas to win this game, but I think it's going to be quite the ball game.
All right, so that means it's me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think which ones I have to take. I will. There are so many NFL games. I will go Chiefs 49ers.
Okay.
Because I feel, am I the only one that feels like if San Francisco loses this game, you're in trouble? I mean, because they've still got games with the Bucs and the Cowboys and the Seahawks and the Packers and the Bills and the Bears, the Lions. I'm not saying any of those are guaranteed losses. It's just you're not getting a lot of Cardinals or Rams or these terrible, god-awful teams.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're sitting here at 3-4, it feels like you're 3-4 after the easiest part of your schedule.
You're not wrong, but I don't know that we're at that point of have to win. I mean, you lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. There's no shame in that because they are the number one team.
For sure.
It's the manner.
But that's not what I said. I'm not saying I would take anything away from it that they lost it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying you're in trouble. I didn't say it was fair or that I expect you to win. But you're sitting on 4 losses, and you've still got several games that I don't think you're going to win. That means you're most likely going to have to go into Detroit, or you're going to have to go into one of these other good teams in the NFC, Minnesota, whoever it ends up being. And you have to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't love your chances of that.
I mean, is the competition for the playoffs that great in the NFC? Because you drop this game, you fall to 3-4. It's less than ideal, but are you? I mean, are you saying
do you think they're going to Buffalo and beating Buffalo in December? Because I don't.
No, probably not.
Do you think they're going to Lambeau the week of Thanksgiving and beating Green Bay?
No.
Maybe you see where my point is.
But do you have to have more than 10 wins to make the playoffs?
Well, that puts you at 6 right there if you win every other game you play.
That's what I'm saying.
10-7 probably would win your division. You would probably be. I'll say you would probably be the 4th one. You'd be the 4 seed, and you would get either Green Bay or Minnesota coming into your house that first week, and then you've got to go to somebody else.
Yeah,
and I don't see any way you're doing that with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's not a thin line to walk. It absolutely is, but I don't know that we can. I don't know that I'm on board with saying that they're in trouble if they don't win this game. Because again, it is the Chiefs, and you get a lot of wins.
I think you're worrying too much about who they're playing. I don't give a damn who they're playing. That doesn't mean anything. You're coming out of the easiest part of your schedule. You had a 7, and I would say you're already out of the easy part of your schedule. This is the start of the tougher part, and now you're a game below 500. I don't care who you lost to. Doesn't matter if you lose to the Chiefs or if you lose to the Cardinals. It doesn't matter. Eventually, math is not working on your side. And if any team other than San Francisco had looked the way they have in getting beat by Minnesota, getting beat by the Rams in a game that they had no excuse to lose, losing to the Cardinals, we would have great reservations. And if you go in here and get shellacked in your own home stadium, and I think you're going to, we would be sounding the alarm on anybody else. I just don't understand why the 49ers are any different.
Yeah. Well, the 49ers, because of the track record that they have.
Well, what is the track record? That you haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years?
Yeah. But the track record that they're playing late every year.
But you're expecting, it's just like Ray Stagich said about the Cowboys. You're expecting to win Super Bowls. I don't think you're a threat to squat right now. And I have a weird feeling Kansas City's going to unveil that. Look what happens when you play a good quarterback. Because so far you've played Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, and Sam Darnold, and you're 3-3. What's going to happen when you play, I don't know, Dak Prescott and Pat Mahomes and Jordan Love and Josh Allen? We think you're just going to – Jared Goff. You think you're just going to win those? Why? Because you showed up wearing the right colors? Because that little logo on your helmet says, well, they play late. Well, they've also regressed every single year, and I think now it's taken hold.
Definitely so, and the continued injury problems that they have don't help them at all. San Francisco, Kansas City, and then
I will go Houston, Green Bay. I think that is such an important game, even though it's interconference, which usually would shade you away. But I think it's a line of demarcation game for both of them. Just play this out in your own head. If one of these teams comes in and is very impressive, do you not walk away from that going, maybe they're better than we think they are? Like if Houston goes in there to Lambeau and just beats the smoke off Jordan Love and off the Packers, do you not walk away going, that's the contender? That's the one that could, in theory, beat Pat Mahomes and beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Conversely, if Jordan Love at home is able to beat the Houston Texans convincingly, do you not look at that and go, oh boy, NFC South or the NFC North is really, really good?
Yes, I would. All right, and then it's on me for the next selection. Where are you going to go this weekend? Well, Lions-Vikings has to be next. I was kind of surprised that you went Houston-Green Bay over Detroit-Minnesota.
It's a division game. We play it twice. That was my
time. Oh, okay. I got you. 5-0 against 4-1. Just how good are the Minnesota Vikings? I saw, when we were talking about this game earlier in the breakdown, giving our picks, I saw comments in the YouTube section of saying, I think that Detroit is going to come in and just blow their doors off because Minnesota's not that good. That absolutely can happen. But I just don't know. I don't know at this point because Minnesota has proven me wrong every week. I keep waiting for the shoe to drop, and at some point it will. And I won't be shocked if it happens this week. I mean, I'll take the Lions in this one. I said earlier, you give me points for the Detroit Lions against anybody, and I'll probably take it. Anybody other than like the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know that Minnesota's that good, but I also don't know that they're not that good, if that makes any sense. I have doubted Sam Darnold at every turn.
I haven't.
And I will continue to do so, just waiting for that moment to go, oh, that's the Sam that we all know. But so far, It's good, and he is going to, at some point, get another weapon back in T.J. Hawkinson. It may not be this weekend, but at some point they could be back, and maybe the NFC North is for real. Detroit and Minnesota, that is my second selection for where to go this weekend. And then I gotta go with the other big college game of the week. We'll talk about Tennessee, Alabama coming up next.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
If you or your friends and family were impacted by the recent disaster and are in one of the communities approved for individual assistance from FEMA, you can apply for disaster assistance. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362.
I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Rob Gronkowski.
Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. We're going to highlight players, and we're just going to sit here and talk about them. And we'll get into the types of dudes. Is Randy Moss a stud or a freak? Is Tom Brady a dog or a dude's dude?
We're gonna find out, Jules. New episodes drop every Thursday during the NFL season.
Listen to Dudes on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dudes on Dudes to start listening.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. Daily Draft continues here, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Some fine beverages to be consumed over the weekend. I got a ice cold Dale's waiting on me at home. And Jeremy's got a nice hot bowl of soup waiting on him.
That's a weird way to say NyQuil. I'm gonna have some NyQuil and crick water and just see how long I can actually sleep.
I was gonna say, you can overdose on that stuff, so just take it easy, only as prescribed.
Yeah,
on the bottle. Jeremy's not a use the cup kind of guy.
No,
he's
I'm swinging out of the
let me
bottle.
see that bottle. Half of it. There we go.
Yeah, I'm a swinging out of the bottle kind of guy.
I'm just gonna kill it.
Yeah, I took a big old swiggy of the NyQuil up before I came down here, and I'm pretty confident that it is worn off.
It is the Daily Draft. Where are you going to go this weekend? If you could go anywhere, where would you go? Tennessee, Alabama, high on my list, and it's my own fault, I guess, that we're not going to be there since I got Jeremy sick, because we had planned to be at Neyland Stadium, but that bucket list trip we'll just have to wait for another week, as Neyland Stadium, hell of a place to watch a game, and there is no place like Knoxville, Tennessee, when Bama's coming to town. I've already seen a lot of the the frat party sign, or the frat house signs and stuff are all up. The rocks are painted. They are ready for the Crimson Tide to come rolling in.
I would love to be there. I'm very sad that I won't be there. Blame Tank.
Yep. Because I think Tennessee is going to pull off the upset this weekend.
I do too. Okay, so remind me again what you have.
All right, so I started with Texas and Georgia. Then I have Detroit, Minnesota, and Tennessee, Alabama. You started out with Kansas City, San Francisco, and Houston, Green Bay.
I'm going to take one that sounds a little weird.
Okay.
LSU at Arkansas.
That does sound weird. What is the attraction?
The attraction is, why is that game a 2.5-point spread? Why is LSU only a 2.5-point favorite? I am not a huge fan of the narrative that Vegas is messing with me. I'm also not real big on, well, they're just baiting people. No, they actually think this is going to be a game. They think it's going to be one of the best games of the weekend. And I'm intrigued. LSU's a top 10 team. I don't think they deserve to be. And to me, this is a spot that you either prove that you belong there or prove that you don't.
Mm-hmm. Are the Hogs that good?
Well, just beat Tennessee. They're 4-2. Do I think they're that good? No. But the fact every person I trust is picking Arkansas to win this game, that confuses me a little bit.
Okay.
Because their only two losses are to Texas A&M and Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And that was before Oklahoma State completely lost the ability to run.
Okay, that is a little off the beaten path. LSU, Arkansas.
I can't believe I'm getting ready to say this.
Uh-oh.
I'm going Ravens Bucs.
You turd. Aaron, yeah. I honestly believe I believe it's going to be a good game. I really do.
I don't believe you're going to have a lot of competition for the eyeballs. Well, we could watch Ravens Bucs, or we could watch Chargers Cardinals.
Clearly, Ravens Bucs is going to be the one to watch.
That's like saying we could watch Bad Boys 4 or Pee Wee Herman's sex tape. I think one of those is going to get way more of my attention than the other does. I'm an analogy man.
Yeah,
I got away with words.
You do. You're a wordsmith.
I am a word. I paint a picture with my words.
Ravens and the Bucs. I feel like that's going to be a game where there is 3-point spread for me.
Oh, I think it should be markedly.
Comes down to a field goal game, and we shall see.
Oh, you actually think you're keeping this within a field goal?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ravens by 40.
Shoo.
Every time Tank falls for it with his team, he gets dude on. Every time. Every single time.
That's not even kind of true.
It's 100% true.
It's not true. Just because it happened against the Denver Broncos, who also beat your team.
Hey, you remember when we went to Charlotte and playing the Carolina Panthers? Tanks, we're the best team in the division. Yeah. We're going to win this division again. We're probably going to win some games. And Tank drives home crying. Listening to Enya music the entire
There's no
way.
explanation for that. There's no explanation for
Todd
that.
Bowles. Todd. That's the explanation. Ravens by a billion.
Ravens by a billion.
Ravens by a bajillion.
Yeah, not even kind of.
Oh God, they're gonna beat you 52-3,
and
I'm gonna walk in here and laugh until it hurts.
Good Lord.
And after this Vicks Vapo Rub Crick Water NyQuil weekend that you just cast on me, I'm going to get more enjoyment out of it than I should.
Oh, I'm sure. I am sure you will. All right, you took my team, so I'm taking your team. Jets Steelers. This was a game that you were going to be at. That plan fell apart before you got sick, so that one you can't blame on me.
Hey, I was still trying to salvage that one, too.
Oh, were you?
I was.
The Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the New York Jets on Sunday Night Football. And look, I'm not really sure this is going to be a great game. I feel like I want to go out on the limb and say this is when everything starts to click for the New York Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers start to come back down to earth. They're going to start Russell Wilson this week. That does not make me feel any warm and fuzzy feelings for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It shouldn't.
And you should get killed. Just for the sheer stupidity of pulling the plug on Justin Fields, just because we got to give Russell Wilson a chance.
It should.
But it won't.
I don't
Somehow.
know. I don't like the way this lines up because Pittsburgh really doesn't have to have anybody to deal with Devontae Adams. They really don't have anybody to deal with Garrett Wilson. The question is, can the Jets run? Mm-hmm. Are they going to have the ability to run the ball? Because that is a good Pittsburgh defense. I think the Jets win, but I also think it's close.
Okay, and then after that, going Bengals-Browns. It's the next best game on the schedule for me. And it's not good. The top of the schedule is really great. The rest of it, nothing really sings to me. But at least this is a division battle. I get to see Nick Chubb come back. Maybe you get to see somebody, the Bengals, try to make some kind of a statement like we're not gonna kick in the rest of this season.
Oh, that is Gnarls Barkley. I will go Seahawks Falcons.
Okay.
I get the best stadium in the NFL and two interesting teams. I don't know if either one of them's great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if either one of them's good.
I think Atlanta is good. I don't think Seattle is.
That's about where I'm at. And then I'm going to pull another college game out of the hat. Going back home.
Okay. West Virginia?
Country Roads.
Okay.
Take me home.
Who are they
to
playing?
The place I belong. Kansas State.
Okay.
Haven't done that in a while.
That means that's a banger coming up at the end of the hour.
It does, and there are no favorites in the bangers today.
All right.
So that should tell you which way I'm leaning.
Okay. All right. And
you should also know that my betting record on my West Virginia Mountaineers is somewhere in the neighborhood of about 400 and 500 since we've been doing this show. About any time I pick West Virginia, you should go the other way.
Gotcha.
Me and Pat Mack, we pick old Alma, and doesn't go so hot.
I was going to say, you pick Alma, and she doesn't matter most of the time.
No, she doesn't love us back.
And then I guess I will go with the Michigan-Illinois battle up in Champaign. A couple of top 25 teams.
If they played that game in my backyard, I would move.
Why?
Neither one of those teams can score.
Well, Big Ten football at its finest, right?
Yeah, I don't want to watch Iowa. I don't want to watch Michigan. I don't want to watch Illinois.
None of them. I don't like Big Ten football.
I don't even like breakfast. Roast.
Yeah. We'll take a break here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. We'll give you the rest of our picks for Week 7 in the NFL after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, good-looking Friday afternoon, everyone. No rain in the forecast and no rain for the next several days. I keep beating that drum because it's appropriate. 7 days, 10 days, maybe longer. Enjoy the next few, though. The weekend's going to be good. Mid-60s today and sunny. Tomorrow in the upper 60s. By Sunday with sunshine in the mid-70s. The overnight lows will average in the upper 30s to the low 40s. From the Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stagich.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Any size soft drinks for $1. Wendy's has any size a la carte $1 soft drinks. Coke, Sprite, Strawberry Fanta, whatever you want. Any size soft drink for $1? Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Hey, what's going on? This is Barry from the band Shinedown. We're heating things up with the release of our third hot sauce, Attention, Mango Habanero. The really hot part is that for every bottle of sauce you buy, a portion of the proceeds will be donated to Musicians on Call. Musicians on Call brings live music directly to patients, families, and caregivers in hospitals across the country. Get your hands on our new hot sauce by visiting shinedown.com/tasteofmadness and help us deliver the healing power of music with Musicians on Call. We really appreciate it.
Storm Pro Solution is here to help you in your time of need, providing top roofing and water damage restoration services, tree removals, and storm damage assessments. Call Storm Pro Solution at 828-318-7096.
If you and your friends and family were impacted by the recent disaster and are in one of the communities approved for individual assistance from FEMA, you can apply for disaster assistance. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you can't measure it on your bathroom scale. Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own. You won't find a bipolar disorder by looking at a thermometer. Like many other health conditions, help for mental illness takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a stick-on bandage. So the sooner you seek treatment, the better. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support. That's samhsa.gov/support.
The 2024 general election is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC is covering every angle of it for you. From the local elections right here in Western North Carolina to the state offices in Raleigh, and of course, the race for the White House. News Radio 570 WWNC is your official election information station.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chipped and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It is a football Friday here in the Sportsocracy. You still can't scream it.
Nope.
And we've got a few more games to roll through here on the Sunday slate. The final 4 o'clock game that we have not talked in depth about just yet. Kansas City and San Francisco. Talked a little bit about it in the daily draft there, as that was Jeremy's first selection of where he wanted to go, the replay of the Super Bowl. This is your number one must-see of the week?
I believe this could be a confirmation of a lot of things that I have thought, which is San Francisco's not an elite team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You might be the 8th best team in the league. You might be the 10th best team in the league, but that's just not really a threat to anything. I don't think they can even keep this game close.
Really?
Kansas City does not tend to blow teams out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this will ever be in doubt. I don't think San Francisco's as good defensively as they have been in the past. I have said I think the NFL is figuring this offense out. I don't think it is this juggernaut of offensive scheme and nobody knows where they're going. It just kind of seems rudimentary to me at this point.
And even despite the injuries that they've had on Kansas City's side, they'll still have the ability to put up points.
Okay, so what injury in Kansas City am I really worried about?
We got no Pacheco. You got no Rice.
Pacheco 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that Kansas City can just lather up with practically anybody at wide receiver and be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I did find it funny. They weren't in on Devontae Adams at all. They weren't in on Amari Cooper at all because they just don't care. Pat Mahomes elevates every guy on that team.
True. That he does. And how long does this go? How, if not now, when would be the question. If they don't lose now, when does Kansas City lose?
Because they've got firmly tell you I don't think they're losing this week.
I was going to say they got the Raiders after this. They got the Bucs after that. They got the Broncos after that.
That game at the Bills.
Did they make it all the way to Orchard Park on November the 17th?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If they make it past the Bills, they then go at the Panthers, the Raiders, the Chargers, at the Browns. They end with the Steelers and the Broncos. The only really losable game on that schedule is the Texans.
Right. It's a fool's errand, I think, to believe that they're going to continue to win like this. But the question is, San Francisco strong enough to beat them?
I don't think so. I don't. I think it is all bearing itself out, and it has over the course of the last 6 weeks.
Yep.
Man, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. It could be worse than this. You're 3-3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
You caught a Jets team that looked completely discombobulated. I don't think you would love playing them now.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle gave you way more of a game than they ever should have. You pulled away late.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, you have wins over the Jets, Patriots, and Seahawks. There's nothing impressive about that.
Right.
With losses to the Rams and the Cardinals and the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an impressive team.
All right, Kansas City, San Francisco. That is the official line on the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. San Francisco is a 1.5-point favorite,
which is stupid.
Well, I mean that's the that's the home swing that you get there. But I'll take the same.
Right, so
I'll take the same tact with Kansas City that I take with the Denver or the Detroit Lions. You're telling me you're giving me points. Okay, I'll be fine.
So you're telling me that in Kansas City this would be a 1-point lane?
No.
Yeah, I think that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yep.
And even if you go super flip and it would be 4, I still think that's insane.
Yep. Kansas City plus the 1.5 over the 47.
Yeah.
All right, and then Sunday Night Football, your New York Jets with Devontae Adams now thrown into the mix against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, as I mentioned, they don't know who their quarterback's going to be right, or we don't know who their quarterback's going to be right now.
He wouldn't be taking first team snaps.
One would think, but
that makes no sense.
But if you're splitting first off, splitting first team reps is
dumb.
Just dumb to me. And apparently I'm curious to know who. I mean, is this Mike Tomlin?
That has to be.
Is it just Mike Tomlin is just dead set on getting Russell Wilson some shine here?
I can't imagine Arthur Smith feels good about this because you're going in against a Jet team that has done a really good job of shutting teams off passing the ball. So now you're going to take my rushing element away from the quarterback. You haven't been able to run a greasy peg up a cat's keister all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Najee Harris at 3.9 yards a carry, which I think that should be his new nickname. Najee 3.9 Harris, because that's about where he has lived.
Yeah.
And so you think you're going to bring that against the Jets with slow, plodding Najee Harris with no threat out of your quarterback, no receiver that wins consistently down the field, and you're going to do this for the first time against that defense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, they just added one of the better receivers in the NFL, and they got a lot of momentum. And this is a really big game. None of it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
None of this makes sense.
No, it's a bad time to mess with the process, if you ask me. Right? You've been winning games with Justin Fields. Right? They're 4-2 with Justin Fields. Why would you upset that apple cart?
Well, and we've had this back and forth about how maturely Justin Fields has handled this, that if I had played better, then it wouldn't be a competition. You're not wrong, but you still, at the end of the day, can't get past what I'm getting ready to say. So if you get everything out of Russell Wilson that you could possibly think you're going to get, you do realize it's what you just got out of 6 games of Justin Fields. Because he's got an interception.
Mm-hmm.
One.
Yep.
He has 4 fumbles, but he hadn't lost one yet. So this guy started the ball over 1 time in 6 games. That's exactly what Russell Wilson does.
And scored 10 touchdowns as well. He's got 5 passing, 5 rushing touchdowns. Yeah. If my memory serves me correctly.
That's
right. You could not have asked for a better start for Justin Fields.
To me, this feels like, and it's weird that these two teams are playing each other, because you have a very unstable franchise in the Jets that have brought in, I think, a calming force that fixes a problem, because you can't just bulldog blitz them anymore.
Right.
If you think you're sending 7 guys at Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard, I got news for you. You're not going to like how this goes.
Right.
This was the guy that they needed because he didn't trust Mike Williams. He didn't have that other outside weapon. And now I feel like you've almost had a reversal of fortune. That the Steelers, who are usually this very stable franchise, and they don't make decisions in a vacuum, and they don't panic, I feel like they panicked. And the only rationale that I can get to is that Mike Tomlin thinks he can get something out of Russell Wilson that Sean Payton couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that is an absolute fool's errand. You're a defensive guy. Arthur Smith, I mean, look at the cast of quarterbacks that have played for him. It's not exactly a Hall of Fame resume. But you're thinking you can get more out of this kid than Sean Payton did. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That feels laughably stupid to me.
Yep. Pittsburgh is a 1.5-point dog at home to the New York Jets.
I'll take the Jets.
I will as well.
And I'll go over the 38.5.
I was thinking under. I was thinking this feels like a 2010 game to me.
This feels like a whole lot to very little.
Are they going to uncork it with Devontae there now? Is there going to be that extra element?
If they want to win, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's if you go back and watch tape on Pittsburgh, if you try to turn this into a grinded out 20-10 game, they're better at that than you are.
Mm-hmm.
You have all these toys now for games like this because they don't have any corners that really worry me. To me, these two teams are the polar opposite of each other. Pittsburgh has no receivers. The Jets have a slew of corners that should be able to shut them all down.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh has no corners that I think can shut down any of the Jet receivers, and that's how you slow down the pass rush. Yeah, T.J. Watt's probably going to be very impactful in this game. You're probably going to see running backs checking him. You're going to see that extra blocker in checking him. But I also don't think you can just sit here and send 6 guys at the Jets the way that the first 6 teams they played have.
Let's go to Monday night. We got a doubleheader on Monday Night Football.
Ravens by bajillion.
8:15 start down in Tampa. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore That's a 3.5-point favorite. Okay. Had not seen that earlier.
Which means they'd be a 10-point favorite at home, and that's about right. 9.5.
Yeah. It seems about right to me.
It does.
I mean, I'll say Baltimore minus the 3.5. That's where your money should be.
For sure.
I said earlier it could be a field goal game. It could be, but that's a big gamble to me to try to go Tampa Bay plus the 3.5. I don't know that this is going to be. What's the biggest trouble spot for us?
Because Flowers.
I was going to say we play the run well. You're not going to stop the run against Baltimore.
No.
You're not going to be able to just completely shut them out and make them one-dimensional.
But even then, all right, so I'll go X's and O's here. You're very good at stopping teams between the guards because you've got Vita Vea.
Yes.
You're not really good at stopping teams outside the tackle box. Well, who runs outside the tackle box?
That's Lamar.
Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lamar's going to be a nightmare.
Could be. He could hurt you. I don't think they're going to have an easy time with Baker. I know how ridiculous that sounds, but I'm not real sure they're going to get constant pressure and be able to disrupt him.
This feels like the Lou Anarumo game of all I've got to do is confuse you because there's this look. Baker has his perks. There are things he does well. He is a very Brett Favre backyard football kind of quarterback.
Yes.
The problem with that is that I can scheme you worthless. And that's exactly what I think Baltimore's going to do. You asked who do you worry about? I would worry about Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith because those two are the definition of what Baker struggles with because these are guys that are often not in a position that you would expect them to be in. These are also guys that if you just take it at face value of what you're seeing, sometimes your eyes can deceive you. And these are games that over the course of his career, he has just routinely lost and usually looks terrible in. I know you think I'm just being a jerk. No. I actually do think Baltimore is going to beat your brains out.
I think this is a Mike Evans game, too.
I don't doubt that Liam Cohen and Baker Mayfield are going into this game with that intention. I also don't doubt that the brain trust, Zach Orr and those guys for Baltimore are going, do it. I dare you to do it. Because I'm going to have that safety over the top. I'm going to disguise looks. I'm not trying to just hammer Baker Mayfield. He's just not a very smart quarterback. He never has been.
No.
And that's not some spicy thing. Go watch the tape. It's abundantly clear.
And he is I feel like I'm cheapening it a little too much when I say this, but he's a lucky quarterback sometimes
for sure.
too. I mean, some of the plays that he has, I give him credit when he's able to duck out of the pocket, escape the initial pressure, and then beat the second wave of pressure to be able to get the throw off. But how many times have we seen that end up being, Rashad White had to make an amazing catch behind his back to pull that ball in, or he was just able to put it in that spot that only Chris Godwin can get to it when he's on the run. He can do some special things like that, but sometimes it gets pretty lucky. And against a defense that can throw as many athletes at you in the second level as Baltimore can, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. There's a real possibility that we come in on Tuesday morning and Jeremy is laughing his ass off because we just got road stomped by 35 points. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but it's in the realm of possibility.
It is certainly on the board of potential outcomes.
It could, because once it steamrolls, then you get that whole who checks out of the game. When do they give up? Because that has been a thing, although that has been less of a thing in the last couple of years for the Buccaneers. One solid thing that I can say about Baker and some of the other guys on this team, the chip on the shoulder is big enough that it usually helps them stay in games. 9:00 on Monday Night Football, the second game of the doubleheader, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are a 2-point dog
That
at
feels
home.
odd. That is a weird line.
Do you think it should be bigger?
I do.
That they should be a full touchdown dog, or
I wouldn't go that far, but 2 is. I mean, this is a team that defensively is really not good in the front 7. The Chargers have done a really good job of running it down the throats of practically everybody they played, and I think it's happening here too. I didn't think about this for a minute. I'm taking the Chargers minus the 2. The over/under, I will say it goes over, but barely.
Over 44.
I think Arizona's going to get them out of their game plan a little bit, and you may see a little more of Justin Herbert than you're used to.
Yep. All right, that's your Week 7 slate of NFL games. I think we only differed on like one game throughout that.
It wasn't many.
I think it was Las Vegas. I think that was I took the Rams to cover the touchdown, and you've got the Raiders plus the 7. But other than that, it's pretty much across the board, which means we're going to be super wrong once again. And coming in here on Monday, scratching our heads, wondering how the NFL got drunk this weekend.
4-10 against the spread. Let's go.
And it was probably on NyQuil.
Oh, no, I'm going to get drunk on NyQuil. I'm going to smell sounds and taste colors. It's gonna be.
Well, you gotta dig deep for me. I got one more segment, and I need you to bring it for the bangers. Coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
Most tax pros leave a message.
It's Jane. I'm moving on to a TurboTax expert who beat your price. Adam Devine, tell him how I feel.
Hey, tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is a tax break.
Switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat what you paid your pro last tax season. Make the switch at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice. TurboTax full service only. Sign up by 12/20/2024 and file by 4/1/2025. Full details at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice.
Haywood Community College offers over 30 programs of study to obtain your associate's degree or specialized certification. We can help you find the perfect program to pursue your educational journey while staying local, offering small class sizes with flexible classroom delivery options and transferable degrees and credits to numerous North Carolina universities. There's no telling where HCC could lead you. Save time and money by staying local. Visit haywood.edu for more information and to begin the registration process. And go Mounties!
When it comes to electrical needs in Asheville, trust the experts at Grigg Electric. Veteran-owned and operated, Grigg Electric is Asheville's #1 choice for electrical services. They offer a variety of electrical services for residential, commercial, or industrial installations in Buncombe, Henderson, Madison, McDowell, and Yancey counties. Call Grigg Electric today, 828-232-0021. That's 828-232-0021. Serving Western North Carolina since 1976. Online at griggelectric.com.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Need batteries? Don't overpay at big box stores. Shop locally owned Rainy Battery for the lowest prices on all your battery needs. From watch to heavy equipment batteries, Rainy Battery has you covered. Boats, RVs, cars, trucks, golf carts, and so much more. Get brands you know and trust like AC Delco, Motorcraft for the lowest prices, plus custom battery cables made in-house. Go to rainybattery.com or stop in today for a quote. That's rainybattery.com.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, we are back to playing football on Friday night, and man, does that sound good. Irwin will be at TC Robertson. Nothing brings the community together like high school football, and Danny Wilkins and Sean Crow and myself, Brian Hall, will be there to call the action. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 7 with a kick at 7:30. On AM 1400, Tuscola will be on the road at West Henderson. Chris Kelly and the gang will have the Mountaineer Countdown to Kickoff show at 7:30 with a kickoff at 8. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingalls, we know that a lot of our heroes
now you look like a pro.
Are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food.
Catch a big one.
Ingalls.
See you later, Dad.
All the ingredients for family.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It is that time. It is that time. I may feel like a bit of excrement, but it is time to cinch that belt up tight and give you what you've been waiting for.
Underdog, 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 underdog.
Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. The fighting Mike Houstons of East Carolina are a 16-point dog in Army. You know he ran the triple option, right? East Carolina's not going to win this game, but they're going to keep it way closer. Give me East Carolina plus the 16. Georgia Tech's a 9.5-point dog against Notre Dame. Come again for Judge Fudge. Have you watched Notre Dame? They are awful. I swear to you, their offense looks like they bet against themselves. Give me the rambling wreck from Georgia Tech. They don't win, but they cover. Maryland's a 7-point dog at home against USC. I don't trust USC if Lincoln Riley can't see the bed he's used to sleeping in, because they suck on ice on the road. This is a trap game to the highest definition. Give me the Terps plus the 7. I think they went outright. Arkansas's a 2.5-point dog at home against LSU. I've resigned myself. I don't get it. I don't know how it's going to happen, but every smart man I know says take the Hogs. So hog pig suey, give me Arkansas. And this makes me feel gross in a way that I can't ever say I felt gross before. It's a stupid song, but 4.5's too many points. I think it's a field goal game. Texas still wins, but give me Georgia plus the 4.5 to cover against the Longhorns.
Let's hope. Let's hope that there's a win in the future for Kirby Smith or Kirby Smith. Kirby Smith. I don't know who Kirby Smith is. Kirby
Smith,
Smart.
That's what they called him on the EA Sports video game. Georgia Bull Rabbits head coach Kirby Smith.
It's better than the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
For sure.
Which is actually an actual jersey that you can get on the minor league baseball auctions right now for hurricane relief. The Amarillo Sod Poodles. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.
I highly doubt I'm going to, but I think I gave you everything I had.
I think you did, and we all appreciate you for it. No one ever said that Jeremy Green is not a gamer. He suffered through the last 3 hours of this show just to bring you his best picks of the weekend, and we appreciate it. So.
I'm a warrior. Let that be known.
We thank you for tuning in to us on this Football Friday. Back with you on Monday to recap all of the weekend action. We will, of course, be with you with all of the breakdowns of the games.
Overreactions.
Yep.
I have a feeling that this weekend's not going to go exactly because it feels too easy. So it could be a wild overreaction Monday.
It does. We will see you back here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400, of course, everywhere on the iHeart Radio app.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
All right, good-looking Friday afternoon, everyone. No rain in the forecast and no rain for the next several days. I keep beating that drum because it's appropriate. 7 days, 10 days, maybe longer. Enjoy the next few, though. The weekend's going to be good. Mid-60s today and sunny. Tomorrow in the upper 60s. By Sunday with sunshine in the mid-70s. The overnight lows will average in the upper 30s to the low 40s. From the Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stagich.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
You don't have to keep living with that joint pain. Real lasting relief is possible with help from QC Kinetics. People here are getting their lives back, getting their mobility back, thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies that can revitalize your joints. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine using your own body's healing properties, highly concentrated and carefully placed in your achy joint. Back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, these are cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a quick, in-office procedure that can get you moving again. These Protocols have been developed by medical professionals and under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a former orthopedic surgeon and a pioneer in clinical regenerative medicine. Listen, is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things you love? Pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder? You owe it to yourself to learn more. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. In Asheville and Greenville.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick-ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WN iHeart Radio Station.